Oh, it's your boy in the building, your boy Rush. You know what I mean? Yo, today we gonna get into the DC universe. You know what I mean? And I'm finna get into the Flashpoint. You know what I mean? Alright, yo, Flashpoint, right? It's basically a situation where Barry Allen, you know what I mean? The whole the whole premise of it is when Barry Allen wanted to see his moms, he ran back in the past and actually saved his mom's, which caused a ripple effect to pop off with the Flashpoint. Now, I'm gonna expound on Barry Allen's background and the dude he caught beef with named Professor Zoom. Know what I mean? Yeah, I mean his mom's got bodied or whatever, and that led him to become a like a crime scene investigator, and also it led him to be devoted to find his mom's killer. Now, at this point, right, when he's looking for his mom's killer after his mom's got bodied, Barry Allen's pops end up end up getting locked up for the death of his mom's dukes or whatever. So pretty much the guy who bodied his mother framed Barry Allen's father. Now, the Flash was created by a dude named Robert Kanninger. Um, around 1984, the Flash was was bubbling in the the comic book circuit or whatever. Now, Barry Allen was struck by lightning while he was in the lab, and a bunch of chemicals was around him too, and that led him to receive uh his super speed or whatever. Now, Barry Allen, aka the Flash, his abilities is immense superhuman speed. That's linked up with the Speed Force, conduit regeneration, force absorption, negative and empathy, um, aerokinesis, thermokinesis, decelerated age, okay, interstellar travel, molecular acceleration, time travel. Yo, I mean, his abilities is ill. It's not just like running fast, but yo, there's a lot of tricks that comes with his abilities because it's linked up with the speed force or whatever. Now, he also has the ability to travel through different multiverses, and that's where a lot of the the link ups pop off through the Flash because he has this ability. That's why DC has different versions of Superman in Earth 2. You know what I mean? You got a different Batman in Earth 3. Earth 4 might have Owlman, but really he's Batman, but just a different like shit is ill. I mean, now the Flash, you know what I mean? He ended up catching smoke with this dude named Eobard Thawne, aka the Reverse Flash, aka Professor Zoom. Know what I mean? Barry Allen's father was sent to prison for the death of his mom's dukes, like I said earlier. Now, Eobard Thawne is from the 25th century. Eobard was genetically created by his parents. Um, and also he's like a super genius. Now, when Eobard tried to get a job at the Flash Museum, because like the time frame he's in, like there's a Flash Museum on Barry Allen, like because he did so much like good in the world that they made a museum about him and have different monuments on Barry Allen. Well, really the Flash, but the Flash Museum was, you know what I mean, like they rejected Eobard Thawne for the position that he applied for. Now, so he began to study like the super speed, you know what I mean, trying to figure out on how to get these abilities or whatever. Now, he done did mad work in labs and figured out certain things, and now he understood on how the Speed Force works. You know what I mean? Now, the Speed Force, like I'm gonna explain to you what the Speed Force is for those of you that's not like into comics. But I'm hoping that all my comic book heads is in the building. You know what I mean, the Speed Force is a cosmic force based around velocity and movement, and one of the seven forces of the universe. It is like representation of reality and in motion. Now, the Speed Force is actually a real thing, and the comics, like they get into details on how it works in the DC universe. I basically, the cosmic force and all that. You know what it is. If you're a comic book head, because DC they kind of expound on that, but I ain't gonna get too deep into it because I'll be talking about some other shit. Now, the source of this energy exists since the beginning of time, acting like like a 3D projecting type. It projects to like the past and present, which also projects like future events of reality. Now, Eobon had smoke between himself and his brother. Like he got like a little brother or whatever. His brother tried to arrest Eobon, and Eobon's reaction to that, he ended up like going back into he didn't really explain that, but Neobon figured out on how the Speed Force works. So now he created his own Speed Force, and now he has like super speed ability just like the Flash, but he ended up killing his own brother, really
Yeah, that
erasing him
shit
from
was
himself.
yo, bro. That shit was always bugged out because I seen the joint, and it's like one of them, the Flash, got speed going forward, and the other one got speed going reverse.
Yeah. um yeah, the Professor Zoom, like, okay, Professor Zoom, his ability derives from the negative Speed Force, which he created by
Like, like,
himself
like,
or
like,
whatever.
like, like,
I
like, like,
mean,
like, like, for instance, Flash, he goes so fast that he end up in the future, whereas Zoom goes so fast he end up in the past.
nah, not really, but like in the comics, it explains on um okay, like basically Zoom always envied the Flash because of all his accomplishment, and that led him to figure out on how to create his own Speed Force, which derives from negative energy. Know what I mean? Now, when Barry Allen,
You know
um
what's deeper? You know what's deep about that shit? It's kind of like the battle between protons and neutrons. You see what I'm saying? Like not even that. It's like the battle between matter and antimatter. Imagine we lived in a world of antimatter. What if I like there's matter and there is small particles of antimatter. But imagine we lived in a world of antimatter. That's kind of where the world that Zoom is coming out of.
yeah, so pretty much, yeah. Son knows a little something, but he probably need to brush up on his memory on some of the comics. But definitely like his input on it, man. Salute to you. Know what I mean, um, now, okay, now, okay, when Neil Braun, killed his own brother, like erased him from the timeline or whatever, you know, he goes back into the lab and studies the Speed Force even more. Know what I mean? Now he does the research on the Speed Force, you know what I mean, and decided to get rid of his brother. Now when Neil Bond uh like, okay, there was like this contest or whatever, and Neil Bond was going against this dude that knew a lot more than he did on the Speed Force, even though he created his own joint. But this kid was like yo, he was really intelligent or whatever. Now, this dude, beat Eobard to figure out on how the Cosmic built the Speed Force. It's like a treadmill that's connected to the Speed Force, right? Now, as a child, Eobard knew the Speed Force was real, but it's one of those things, something is real, but he couldn't really prove it until until son that he was going against for this contest or whatever figured it out. Now when he discovered that the Speed Force was, what I mean, this dude named what's his name? Professor Drake. Now Eobard did erase Drake from the timeline and became the famous scientist. You know what I mean? So pretty much in the first timeline, this dude Professor Drake was famous for figuring out that the Speed Force was real. But Neobon, what I mean, he's a grimy cat. He wanted the fame for himself, so he went back in time, stole all his information, and erased homeboy from the timeline. And then he became the professor, the famous professor that discovered the Speed Force. Know what I mean? That like he ended up having real tangible evidence on proving that the Speed Force is real. Now, when Eobard stole this dude's sign, discovering the Speed Force, right? He gave like everybody gave him the name Professor Zoom. That's how he got the nickname Professor Zoom, because in this new timeline, he discovered the Speed Force. I mean? Now, uh okay, now Neil Bond Neil Barthon, what I mean, Professor Zoom, aka the Reverse Flash, right? The Reverse Flash kills his own parents because I guess they was getting on his nerves or whatever. So this allowed him to have more time to study the Speed Force even more. Know what I mean? Now, throughout the blue, right, this time capsule popped out of nowhere, and it was remnants of artifacts from the 21st century, and then inside of it was the Flash costume. Now, the costume possesses pieces of the Speed Force. When Barry Allen was rocking it, because every time he's running fast, I mean, there's remnants of electrical speed of the Speed Force on the Flash's suit. Now, okay. Now this is when he created his own Speed Force now, because he had like remnants of the remnants from the Flash's suit, and he takes it and creates his own Speed Force, which allows him to be even faster. You know what I mean? Now this Speed Force is like it derives from negative energy. So that's why he also calls himself the Reverse Flash, because of it. Now the Flash end up somehow they end up bumping each other in a certain timeline. Professor Zoom and the Flash, right? And the Flash, he end up fighting Neil Bond Thorne, and they get it in, right? They fight or whatever. But at this time, uh Neil Bond was not he wasn't at his full potential yet. He was still trying to figure out the mechanics on his abilities, on how to get better and how to strengthen his abilities. Know what I mean? Now, at this moment, Professor Zoom knew he would be the Flash arch nemesis. You know what I mean? When he got defeated by the Flash. So now the Professor Zoom grew this strong jealousy energy towards the Barry Allen, the Flash or whatever. So he did like a lot of shit. Like he'll run back in time and torment Barry Allen as a child or whatever, and come back to the future and see if anything changed from the museums or whatever, because he's really trying to erase the Flash from his timeline, but it doesn't really work, and I'm going to expound on why it doesn't work later on in the story. So now, and I'm breaking all this down before I get to the Flashpoint, because some of you might not know the backstory of Barry Allen, well, the Flash. So I want to explain this before I get into the actual Flashpoint. Now, Barry Allen defeats this dude. Now he's like, yo, he got beef with him forever, and he realized he's his nemesis now. Eobard believes that Barry Allen was a destroyer in his warped perception of Barry Allen, but we all know Barry Allen is a righteous dude. He does the right thing, and he's always helping others. Know what I mean? Now, when the Flash defeats him, Professor Zoom was locked up, right? He ended up getting locked up in a cell for criminals that have meta human abilities. You know what I mean? So like they got this, I forgot the name of this spot, but like they like in the future they because there's a large amount of meta humans in that um timeline or whatever. Yo, they got to create a prison for like metahumans, and when they put these metahumans in these prison cells, it dampens their they superhuman abilities or whatever abilities that they got. Professor Zoom, aka the Reverse Flash, he was locked up for a minute, but somehow he figured out on how to escape that prison, and he became so ill, right? He became so ill, and he saved the remnants of that uh of the uh of the that old flash suit from that time capsule. He created his own speed force, which is the negative speed force. Now, man, now this negative speed force, allowed him to go back in time to body Barry Allen's moms. Now, the reason why Eobard bodied his mom is because he needs the Flash to exist, and I'm gonna explain on why he needs the Flash to exist. Um, the Reverse Flash, he went back in time, tried to prevent the lightning to hit Barry Allen. Like he wanted to uh he wanted to get struck by that lightning and take Barry Allen's super speed, right? But for some reason, that lightning didn't hit him. Um, he phased out, and the lightning went through him, and it still hit Barry Allen, and that's how Barry Allen, received his super speed. But he ran back in time to try to prevent that from happening, so that he could be the only speedster that ever lived, and it backfired. It didn't work. Um, Now the reason why it didn't work is because the Reverse Flash, he began to fade out. You know what I mean? Like he was about to get erased from existence. Now the lightning, went through him and all that, but the reason why it went through him because for some reason, because Barry Allen is technically like the first speedster speedster that's tapped into the speed force. Like he will basically be erasing himself out that timeline. And when he realized that, he was like, "Damn! Like I can't even kill this nigga right now because if I kill him, you know, I end up killing myself." And that's when he got the idea to, what? Since I can't kill the Flash, fuck it. I'm a body his mother. Now, one day, you know what I mean? Barry Allen, he had a strong need to be with his moms, man. Like he was just like, yo, damn, I miss my moms, I wanted, I wish she never died or whatever. And, some of us that lost a loved one, we tend to feel that sometimes, and if you did have the ability to run back in time, wouldn't you want to save your loved one, prevent them from dying if you could? You know what I mean? So, yo, that led Barry Allen to run back in time, man. Now, when he ran back in time and prevented his mom from getting bodied, it created the flashpoint. You know what I mean? Now, you know what I mean? Like, as he go back in time and fucks up everything, this flashpoint is like it's an alternate version of everybody from DC. Like you know, the Justice League don't exist. Everything that's switched up. You know what I mean? Now when he did this, he lost memory on what happened. You know what I mean? Now all of a sudden, right, Barry Allen woke up in you know in the office as a detective working an 18-hour shift. Now at this point, you know the you know he's at the police station, you know, dispatch going off indicating, you know, there's a shootout. You know, Barry Allen, you know, he's still thinking he the Flash. But yo, he's not the Flash no more. He lost his abilities. As he's trying to run out, thinking that you know he still got his super speed, he trips on the steps. You know what I mean? He fell or whatever, you know? And you know, when he fell, right? Yo, his moms came out the blue like, yo, Barry, yo, wake up. I mean, not wake up, get up, you know? And yo, he was like shocked when he seen his moms. He was like, yo, I can't in his mind, he's like, yo, I can't believe this. So, you know, he gives his moms, you know, a strong hug and informs her that you know, it's good to see her. You know, like it was just a real I guess heart warming uh situation when he's seen his mom's because you know like he's like yo damn like she's alive now, you know. So Barry Allen begins like not in this flashpoint and in this realm everything's different. And as I get deeper in the story, you're gonna see how things are different in this realm. I mean, now Barry asks his mom's like, yo, where's my father at? And you know, she informs Barry that, yo, your father passed away 3 years ago. Barry said something is wrong, right? Like he peeps like, yo, shit is mad different. Yo, something's wrong right now. I mean, so he begins to tell his mom's Dukes like, yo, I'm the Flash, you know, I'm the, you know, I'm the dude that be saving everybody. And his mom's responded to Barry was like, yo, who's the Flash? Um, Barry was like, yo, you know, the fast cat that be, you know, rolling with the Justice League. Barry mom's just like, yo, I never heard of the Justice League. Yo, who are they? Barry began to ask his mom's Duke, like, yo, you ever heard of Batman? And she said, yeah, I heard of Batman. Yo, son be out here, you know, saving niggas, whatever, busting hammers and all that. You know what I mean? And y'all like, yo, busting hammers. Yeah, yo, in this realm, yo, Batman be busting his hammers. Like, yo, he got two Glocks. When niggas trying to run up, he bust them hammers. And if he run out of bullets, like he gets to throwing hands or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? So whatever. Now, in this timeline, right? Yo, Bruce Wayne does not exist. It's Thomas Wayne that exists, which is Bruce Wayne's father. Now, instead of Bruce's parents getting killed that night by the Joker, yo, the Joker end up killing Bruce Wayne's and his mom's Dukes, right? So Thomas Wayne is the Batman in this time paradox. Know what I mean? This Flashpoint's kind of getting ill, right? Word up. Because when I saw this joint and saw the comics with this shit, I was like, yo, this shit mind blowing. Thomas Wayne is an L Batman. I like his vibes, man. Niggas L, son. You know what I mean? Like, yo, he be bodying niggas. Like, he don't care. You know what I mean? Like, yo, there was a situation when he was politicking with this this chick that's emulating like Joker's girl or whatever, Holly or whatever. You know what that nigga did? Yo, he tossed that broad over the bread. No, over the building, nigga. You know what I'm saying? And Cyborg came out of nowhere and saved this broad. Know what I mean? Yo, I like this Thomas Wayne. You know what I mean? He don't care, nigga. He'll body a nigga if a nigga violates. But yo, let me expound on the story a little bit more. You heard? Now, the Batman is Thomas Wayne. We you know what I mean? I explained that. And he's a bit more ruthless than, you know what I mean? Than the original Batman. You heard? Now, he bodies mad villains, you know what I mean, especially that emulates the Joker style. You know what I mean? Now, Cyborg came through to politic with Thomas Wayne about the war between Aquaman and Wonder Woman. Y'all like, damn, Aquaman beefing with Wonder Woman? Yeah, yo, they catch right. Like, yo, this beef is serious. This beef is so serious that yo, when they when they catch right together, nigga, it's gonna cause the world to end, nigga. And this is why the Cyborg is trying to politic with Thomas Wayne, aka Batman, because he's the only one that's ill enough to conjure up a plan to prevent from this doomsday to pop off. You heard? But anyway, yo, Cyborg, he's trying to get Batman to join his squad or whatever to stop this shit from popping off. Thomas Wayne was like, yo, saying, yo, why you even trying? It's inevitable. The world's gonna end. Fuck it. You know what I mean? Pop champagne, nigga. Smoke some of that Zaza, cause shit's going down, my nigga. Cyborg was like, yo, man, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? Yo, come through and help us, man. Let's at least try to save the world. Thomas Wayne was like, yo, man, fuck this shit, nigga. I'll catch you on the flip, my nigga. One. So he dips or whatever, right? Thomas Wayne's, you know what I mean? He goes back to his crib, you know what I mean? Whatever. Now, Barry Allen, he like, yo, damn, son, I need to get my speed back, nigga. I got politics with Bruce Wayne, nigga. In his mind, he thinking that Batman in this time paradox is fucking Bruce Wayne. It's not. It's Thomas Wayne. So Barry Allen goes to the Bruce Wayne's house, but really it's Thomas Wayne, right? He goes there, right, trying to look for Bruce or whatever, right? But he end up, linking up with Thomas Wayne, right? Now Thomas, yo, he grabs Barry and start, you know what I mean? Whooping his ass. It's like, yo, fuck you doing in my crib, nigga? Fuck's wrong with you, son? So, yo, Barry's like, yo, Batman, chill, man. It's me. I'm the Flash. You know, it's Barry, nigga. It's me, son. Then Barry's like, yo, you gotta remember me, fam. Come on, man. Then he's still whooping his ass, nigga. So he starts to break his fingers and shit. Then as Thomas begins to break Barry Allen's fingers, he's like, Bruce, nigga, chill. So Thomas said, yo, why the fuck you saying my son? Oh no, hold on. I don't want to say too. Nah. He was like, yo, fuck you, me, yo, who fuck all you, nigga, right? So, yo, he's like, yo, that he said Bruce died a long time ago. Then, yo, at that pivotal moment, yo, Barry Allen knew, like, yo, that's not Bruce, nigga. So, he was like, yo, chill. Yo, let me explain to you. And, like, Thomas is still confused or whatever. Like, he's like, yo, how does this nigga even know who my son is? So he begins to, beat up Barry Allen even more. So he's like, yo, who sent you here? The Joker? He's like, yo, did the Joker send you here, my nigga? He's like, yo, nah, man, it's me, man. It's Barry Allen. He's like, yo, I don't know no Barry Allen, man. So, Barry Allen begins to explain, like he informs him about his other identity and shit like that, right? And Thomas, you know, Thomas was like, yo, I've never heard of a Flash. So, yo, Thomas grabs Barry Allen's head, right? As he's grabbing his head, yo, he saw mad different timelines. Like for some reason, he was able to see the different timelines that Barry Allen ran through. And then that allowed Thomas Wayne believe that the Flash is really that Barry Allen is really who he say he is. You know what I mean? Like he's a superhero with super speed or whatever. Now, for some reason, like yo, his ring popped out of nowhere, right? So the Flash is like, yo, I'm gonna show you, my nigga. Like, yo, watch this. So because like, okay, in this ring, right, it possesses the Flash suit. For those of you that don't know a lot about the Flash, yo, the Flash, he rocks this ring. inside the ring is the flash suit. So whenever he gotta go save somebody, he immediately the suit pops, jumps out the ring, and he with his super speed he puts it on and dips. Now, when he took that ring and applied pressure to that ring to cause the suit to pop out, it wasn't the red suit that came out, it was the reverse flash suit, which was yellow, that came out. So that's when he realized, like, yo, Eobard has something to do with this too. Well, not really. Like later on in the story, I'm gonna explain to you what happened. But anyway, Eobard, you know what I mean, left the suit in the ring to let him know, like, to let Barry Allen know that, yo, he's around. You know what I mean, and that, he has the, he still got his speed powers or whatever. He's able to do his thing off the negative energy speed force, off the negative energy from the speed force or whatever. Now, Thomas asked Barry, like, yo, you said my son's name. He's like, yo, in your timeline, is my son alive? And you know, yo, Barry told him, like, yeah, yo, your son is still alive, man. He's still out here doing his thing or whatever. Well, not doing his thing like he actually knew his son, but yeah, like he said, in my timeline, like, yo, and well, in my timeline slash multiverse, whatever you want to call it, like, yo, your son is the Batman. You know what I mean? So Thomas was like, oh man, like, yo, that's it. He like, yo, that's what's up, because now now he has the spirit to help the cyborg now to come up with a plan, because they need him to come up with a decent plan to prevent this great war that's about to pop off between Aquaman and Wonder Woman. Know what I mean? Now, Barry Allen said, like, yo, you gotta help me get my powers back, man. Like, yo, was good. And the Batman was, well, Batman, Thomas Wayne, whatever. He's like, yo, how we gonna do that? And Barry Allen begins to explain to him how he got his powers back. You know what I mean? How he got his powers back, how he got his powers. And Thomas Wayne had like an electrical chair in his crib. So what he did, he put Barry Allen in an electrical chair, right, and started electrocuting this nigga. Trying to help Barry Allen retrieve his powers or whatever. It wasn't working, nigga. Yo, the son kept electrocuting this nigga, like, yo, so many times that, yo, like, and as he's electrocuting Barry Allen, nigga, like, his skin's falling off, nigga's burnt out. The man looks real disfigured at this point, man. And yo, did it like 11 times, my nigga, like, just electrocuting this nigga. And you know, Barry Allen knew he had to get his speed back so he could fix the mistake that he made by running back in time, saving his mom, Dukes, or whatever. Because that's what caused the flashpoint to pop off, nigga. Know what I mean? So, yo, Thomas was like, yo, nigga, I can't electrocute you, nigga. Like, yo, you about to die, my nigga. Yo, Barry Allen's like, nah, nigga, do it again. And, yo, Thomas Wayne, he electrocutes the nigga the 12th time, but the 12th time, he gets his abilities back. So immediately, yo, when he got struck by the electrocution off the chair. He received his abilities. He started running, like, he was able to move fast again. As you can see in the comics and in the film, his his speed his speed like ability start to make his body heal mad quick, nigga. So you can see his skin growing back, his face is not disfigured no more. Like the nigga, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? He's back to normal. He doesn't look disfigured no more. You know what I mean? Now, now that he got his abilities back, right? Barry Allen received like some type of uh how can I put it? Well, you know what? Okay, okay. Batman and the Flash, you know, they went to go link up with Cyborg. You know what I mean? And now the Flash begins to explain to them who's the most powerful being on Earth, nigga. You know what I mean? Who's Earth's great champion, my nigga? It's this Kryptonian named Kal-El. Now, in this realm, my nigga, Kal-El is not, you know, he's not Diesel and strong like he grew up in the farm. You know what I mean? Like this nigga, you know what I mean? Well let me explain. Let me explain what happens, right? So, yo, Barry Allen is like explaining to them because in this time paradox, they don't know who Superman is. Know what I mean, the government they captured him when his spaceship fell from Krypton or whatever into Earth or whatever as he was flying through the galaxy. You know what I mean? He crashed into the orbit in the Earth. You know what I mean? Clark, Marcia Kent, and Jonathan Kent did not discover Superman in this timeline. It was the government. The government snatched him up and they put him in a prison. You know what I mean? And you know, let me explain this first, then I get into that what really went on. All right. So yo, they like yo, son, we need to link up first, right? So they link up together, whatever. They start politicking, and the Flash mentioned Cyborg. Yo, we gotta find Superman. They like yo, we don't know who Superman is. We never, you know what I mean? We never did that. Now, you know, Cyborg is crafty with the PC, my nigga. So he begins to hack into the government joint and start searching files on, you know what I mean, this Kryptonian named Kal-El, aka Superman, whatever. Know what I mean? Now, Jonathan Martha Kent, you know what I mean, didn't snatch him up, you know what I mean? The government did. So, like I said earlier. So you know, this nigga's locked up or whatever. Now everybody know, like, yo, his powers derives from the sun. I mean, and you know, they got him in like they created like a synthetic red sun to keep him, you know what I mean, weak or whatever. I guess the government knew that his super strength derives from that, but like, yo, Superman himself didn't even know he was powerful when they broke into the government joint. You know what I mean? Like he was like mad frail and weak, my nigga, like mad skinny and shit, nigga. Like he hasn't been eating. You know what I mean? But he's still, you know what I mean, he's still a full blooded Kryptonian. So you know what I mean? As soon as he escapes and that sun hit him, nigga, it's fucking game over, my nigga. Everybody dying, my nigga. Like, you can't fuck with the Superman, you know what I mean? Unless you got that kryptonite on you, right? But I think in this timeline, in this time paradox, they don't even know, they haven't discovered kryptonite over there. But let me continue to the story, whatever, right? So, yo, they all figured out where they got Superman locked up at. So they begin to travel, you know what I mean? And you know, try to find this location, you know what I mean? Now they found this secret facility, they break in. Um these giant doors, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Cyborg had to break into behind those giant doors is where, you know what I mean, Superman is in. You know what I mean? Now, yo, they break in, they see Superman, they snatch him up, they begin to dip. As they begin to dip, you know what I mean? They're trying to save this Kryptonian, you know what I mean? You know, they running, they trying to escape. You know what I mean? Them guards, you know, they busting hammers at them niggas. They get the dumping nigga. They shooting at these niggas. So they was like, yo, we gotta, yo, as soon as this nigga get outside that sun, hit them niggas, game over, my nigga, right? So they running. Whatever. Now I'm gonna explain to you. I mean, I'm quite sure everybody knows this, but I want to explain anyway, just to make sure you do know what Superman abilities is. You know what I mean, and where it comes from. Now, all right. So, yo, like because of Kal-El's Kryptonian cells, they act like a living solar battery, absorbing solar energy and giving him his special abilities. Know what I mean? Now, he's been locked up for so long, he had no idea he had these abilities. Now, the Flash informed Batman, like, yo, you know what I mean? Yo, it's gonna be game over, my nigga. Now, because of the guards was doing this, whatever, they finally get out. They out. They're not out. You know what I mean? Kal-El, he's under the sun. This nigga begins to fucking float, nigga. This nigga's like, yo, damn, I can fly, nigga. Yo, soon as he seen them guards still busting hammers at him, nigga. Yo, he bodied all them niggas with his heat ray vision. Killed all them niggas. He like, damn. And the nigga just flew off into the sky. Just dips. So Cyborg and Batman was like, yo, there goes our main plan or whatever. And Flash is like, yo, don't worry, man, he'll probably be back, man. He's just filling this shit out, trying to figure out what's going on. But Flash was feeling shaky about the situation when that happened. So now now the Flash is beginning to lose his memories. You know what I mean? Not losing his memories, but because the timeline, like okay, when you created when he ran back in time, he creates a new timeline, which is the Flashpoint. It's a different time paradox, which means if it becomes a permanent timeline, you will begin to lose your memories from your other timeline, because now it's about to be solidified with this timeline. It's about to be a concrete thing. And this nigga starts to, the Flash goes into shock, nigga. Like, and the reason why he's going into shock is because there's there's an over amount of electrical activity going on to his brain. You know what I mean? So as this is happening, the memories of timelines begins to come in. And for some reason, Thomas Wayne knew what was happening. He was like, yo, my nigga. He begins to slap Barry Allen, like, yo, don't forget Bruce, my nigga. And he injects this medicine that brings down the over electrical activity within his brain. You know what I mean? So that Flash don't lose his memory of Bruce Wayne. And fast forward, right? Thomas, looks at the Flash, right? And Captain Thunder, which is okay. Now in this timeline, in this time paradox, for those of you who don't know, Captain Thunder in this timeline is Captain Marvel, aka Shazam. Know what I mean? AKA Billy Baxton. But for some reason in this time paradox, they call him Captain Thunder. Now, in this time paradox or whatever, Shazam is like 7 kids, nigga. It's like Barry Allen and 7 other kids, and when they all scream Shazam together, they become, you know what I mean, Earth's mightiest, greatest hero, Earth's protector, which is, you know what I mean, Captain Marvel. But anyway, now that y'all know that, the Flashpoint and the Flashpoint with Captain Thunder, he's kind of like I wouldn't say a prominent figure within that time realm, but he's kind of important. You know what I mean? Because he does he's basically in this time paradox, he's like he takes up the mantle of Superman, because Superman, in this timeline was never how can I say, like, he did exist, but he wasn't like in the mix like that. He was cooped up, you know what I mean, in the jail cell through the government. But anyway, now now let me explain to you the beef between Wonder Woman and Aquaman and why they beefing. The reason why they beefing is because Aquaman, Aquaman, he was smashing Wonder Woman. Like, they had a thing going on. But Aquaman dumped Wonder Woman. She wasn't having it. Know what I mean? Now, the reason why this beef is so serious, that when Aquaman dumped this broad, right? He ended up dating this human chick, nigga. I guess because she's feminine. You know what I mean? She ain't no, you know what I mean? She ain't got super abilities, nigga. She just a feminine chick, you know what I mean? And that's, that get with his program. Wonder Woman wasn't having it. You know what Wonder Woman did? She bodied this nigga girl, my nigga. So they've been beefing at each other for ever since, nigga. You know what I mean? But they didn't have their camps involved, nigga. Like, they would fight individually. But in this situation, like, they bringing they armies with them, nigga. You know, the women from the Amazonian chicks from whatever island, secret island they from, they gonna come on. I mean, on the American plains along with Aquaman's people, and it's gonna be like the Clash of the Titans type shit, my nigga. Yeah, I mean, so that's why they beefing, nigga, cause you know what I mean. Aquaman did a pump and dump, my nigga. Yo, the shit crazy, nigga. But anyway, let me let me get back to the story, y'all. And matter of fact, y'all, let me expound on the jealousy of uh, Professor Zoom on Barry Allen, nigga. You gotta understand, man. Like, yo, this nigga got a mental. I think it's a mental illness on how he's obsessed over the Flash like this, my nigga. Like, it's shit is crazy. Like, yo, the nigga didn't even exist in your timeline, my nigga. Like, you know, he was so envious of this nigga. Like, his jealousy and envy towards this nigga allowed him to tap in the Speed Force, nigga, prematurely and able to manifest the super speed, nigga. That jealousy and hatred could make people do a lot of amazing things, nigga. But let me get back to the story though. You know what I mean? That's why I got the second title as, yo, is jealousy really a female trait, nigga? Now, man. But anyway, yo, Aquaman end up you know what I mean, beefing with Wonder Woman or whatever. Now, yo, they camps is here now. Like, you know, you got Wonder Woman people's here and Aquaman's nigga army shit. So they getting ready to thump. Now Captain Thunder, he comes through, begins to prevent them from fighting. So now Captain Thunder, he's fighting Wonder Woman, right? So they thumping hard, right? And yo, for some reason, right, Billy Batson and them kids, they revert back to their mortal self. And when this happened, yo, Wonder Woman took her blade, nigga, and stabbed the nigga in the heart from the back and bodied Billy Baxter. Now Billy Baxter's dead, my nigga. And then after she killed that nigga, she killed the rest of the little niggas too. You know what I mean? So when that happened, Professor, yo, when when Wonder Woman bodied Billy Baxter and them kids, nigga, Professor Zoom popped out of nowhere. You know what I mean? And when this happened, like a great lightning struck the ground, nigga. You know what I mean? You can hear it, like, you know what I mean? You can hear the crackle sound from the lightning, my nigga. It sounds like bones breaking, nigga. You know what I mean? Like clack, 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 clack. Yo, the shit was raw, son. Raw and uncut, you heard? But anyway, as you hear this crackle, nigga, right? In the background, you see Professor Zoom, nigga. He informs the Flash, nigga, look what you did, son. This shit is all you, my nigga. You fucked up the world, nigga. The world about to end because of you. That the Flash was like, yo, I got no idea what you're talking about. He's like, yo, because yeah. Now Professor Zoom was like, yo, because you saved your moms, man, you created this time paradox, which allowed me to be free from you. You don't have to exist anymore. I can kill you. So now they begin to, you know, they begin to dump. They fighting or whatever. And yo, son, they getting it in. I mean, like, yo, this shit is pretty. This fight is pretty intense, nigga. Like, it's like almost battle to the death. But yo, Professor Zoom had the upper hand. He was whooping Barry Allen's ass. Like, he was, you know what I mean, whooping his ass. And yo, the last what like, I guess the second to last punch that Neil Bronson hit Barry Allen with, yo, I'm telling you, son, that's when he started receiving all the memories on how he fucked up everything. You know what I mean? Everything was really Barry Allen's fault, nigga. But he has a chance to fix it. You know what I mean? So anyway, now that he remembers that this alternate verse that he's in is not real and that he can fix it, so you know, he wants to you know, stop himself from saving his moms because his mom's got to die. You know what I mean? It was ordained for his moms to die, so he has to allow his not allow, but he has to let. He can't change that. He can't change that course of time saving his moms because it just fucks up everything, nigga. You know what I mean? And as the fight begins to end, well, not end, almost ends or whatever, right? Yo, the Professor Zoom, he transforms into a like a living time paradox, man. Like this nigga, yo, he's at that point where he can really kill Barry Allen. You know what I mean? And yo, listen, man, like he's able to kill Billy Baxter, Barry Allen. Now, because he's able to kill Barry Allen, he was being a little bit arrogant, nigga. He was feeling himself, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Out of nowhere, Kellogg came back, and he actually diffused the war, nigga. He stopped um uh Wonder Woman and Aquaman going at each other. You know what I mean? Which was a good thing. It prevented, the world from ending, and to uh it gave enough time for Barry Allen to fix things because if Superman didn't do what he did, like the world would have ended, and that would have been like a permanent time paradox, nigga. That would have been it. Like the world is done and within that timeline. But because Superman gave him enough time to prevent this from happening, this allowed him to go back in time. Now, before he does this, right? Yo, Batman kills the Reverse Flash. When Reverse Flash was standing over Flash or whatever, yo, like he stabbed the nigga. He stabbed the nigga from the back and killed the nigga Reverse Flash, aka Professor Zoom, aka Eobard Thawne. Know what I mean? And that gave Barry Allen enough time to run back to stop himself from saving his mother. And that's the end of the story. But yo, this shit is crazy. Hey yo, Kev, you can drop that link, let niggas cam up so we can expound on the second subject matter, you heard? You know what I mean? If y'all want to talk about this, man, let's talk about this, you heard? What are your thoughts on the story? You know what I mean? Y'all feeling the story? Yo, let's let's expound on what happened in this comic, you know what I mean? And then we'll get into the second subject matter. Now, Eobard Thawne, aka Professor Zoom, you know what I mean? He suffered like an abnormal jealousy, you know what I mean? And it's also called like a pathical uh pathic, pathological jealousy or the extreme jealousy, which may be a sign of underlying mental issues. You know what I mean? Such as schizophrenia, anxiety, or other issues. Now, Professor Zoom was pretty jealous. Now, his jealous, you know what I mean, led him to be obsessed over the Flash. Now, this this may have be one of the most innovative characters I've seen in DC universe, man. Like I kind of like the uh the Professor Zoom because uh it's a bit. Yo, what up, Kev? What's good?
What's going on, man? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, man.
Yeah, I just want to tackle the second topic.
Yo, let's go, man. Is jealousy really a female trait, man?
Only when it comes to other women. Um, Women are very, you know, um, basic creatures. Beauty, um, beauty is a main aspect to a woman's entire nature. So obviously, a woman's not going to be jealous of a man in terms of beauty, but she is going to be jealous of another woman. Age, that's one of the reasons why you hear a lot of women hiding their age, or I've worked in the education field, I've worked in different places, and older women tend to sometimes become snarky towards the younger females because younger chicks are hotter, and they know that. So a woman's jealousy is primarily based on beauty and competing with other women. Now, in terms of jealousy towards a man, no. Women are biologically programmed to admire men. Now they are hypergamous, but they are programmed to um, like the man who has the most toys. So, whereas a man would be jealous of a Floyd Mayweather, not all men, but a man will be jealous of a Floyd Mayweather because men are in competition with other men for resources and land and territory. But a woman is not going to be jealous of those things because women primarily don't care about territory acquisition,
Mm-hmm.
things of that magnitude, and they don't have the strength to obtain it. Whereas, um, a man does have the strength, even if he's jealous or not. A man does have the strength, and that's why there's law and order to prevent that from happening. But yeah, a woman is primarily only jealous of other women in terms of just beauty, and that's what I've always noticed. And sometimes even in career, but from what I've seen, it's just basically something to deal with beauty, sex, and their involvement in another man. So, for example, if a girl is friends with another girl, and let's say that girl is prettier, but let's say the girl who's the uglier friend has the better looking dude or the better dude with resources, that prettier girl is gonna say, "Wait a minute, how is this ugly bitch beating me, and I'm the prettier one?" And that's what really drives a woman's jealousy. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, yeah, and I definitely agree with you on that.
Yeah.
But you got men that act the same way, man. Like they hold this animosity towards other men for whatever what reason,
Yeah.
and and
Yeah.
they tend to
Yeah.
disperse negative energy towards that
Yeah.
individual that's peaceful and understanding.
Yeah.
Which
Well, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
Well, no, yeah, I said, I pretty much said that. I said men are pretty much jealous. If a man is jealous, it's not because of another man's looks, but it's going to be more resource based. So if that man has more resources or better resources, then yes, that man will be jealous. But a man's jealousy again works different from a woman's jealousy. But is it a natural trait? Yeah, it's a natural trait in both men and women. Now, which one is more dangerous? I don't know. I think I think in a civilized society, a woman's jealousy is probably more dangerous because, again, in a civilized society, we have law and order to prevent certain acts from happening all the time. In ancient times, if you probably had more cattle or you had more resources, a group of men would probably take it. You know, but now you don't have that as much because we have law and order. You can't just go in somebody's house and take something and it's okay. It's robbery, it's burglary, etc. So man has created it where a man's jealousy is checked, but a woman's jealousy is different. A woman's jealousy goes unchecked because a woman could be at work, she could start up some drama, she could start up some beef, all because she's jealous of another woman. And I've seen it over and over and over.
Now, do you think the act of a female's jealousy is more um uh powerful than the male's jealousy of acts and responsiveness
Oh,
from being
yeah,
jealous?
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. You got to remember, um, women can be very manipulative and deceptive, and they can start drama. They can throw people under the bus. They can lie. They can manipulate their way into a situation, and people will believe them because of the damsel in distress theory that all women are just you know, um, delicate flowers and you see a crying woman, you automatically go for help. So a woman can just make up a scenario. So yeah, a woman could just lie. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree with you on that because women that react towards their jealousy or whatever situation or when they're upset and cause them to be jealous, um they have the power of influence, man. They're able to manipulate anybody, not just men but women too, and create an illusion to oppress whoever they want to oppress within that environment. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, again, it goes back to what I was saying about at the workforce or the workplace, where a woman can pretty much dictate the social um, stability
Construct.
or instability at the workforce,
Hmm.
all because she's upset or or because she's jealous. Absolutely. And again, the beauty of men is that we've created laws and courts, but if women had it their way, it'd be absolute chaos and anarchy. If they had if society was based on them. So,
I mean,
but that's,
wouldn't you consider chaos the natural order of things?
well, of course, chaos is the natural order of things because we can't control the universe naturally, but artificially we have been able to control our environment. Again, there was a time where a man could have 50 livestock, and lazier men who don't want to work, uh, they could just gang up on that man and just take his property or take his cattle and even kill him if they wanted to. And that is chaos. But what is order is that men have created systems that prevent that from happening. And I think that that's the difference between men and women. There was a video where they put women and men on an island, and the men pretty much built everything but the damn internet within a week, but the woman couldn't do anything. They had to eventually go to the men for shelter and food. And what it is that men understand that jealousy leads to disorder, whereas women don't care. So women, they will be in a room with each other, and then you know next thing you know, I can't stand that bitch, and the girl didn't do nothing, but it's just based off of her looks. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because like the whole the island analogy with the men and women, like dudes, they have a natural understanding on I want to say patriotic system, but the order of the patriotic lane. For example, like a dude understands if there's an individual that's able to lead and he's decisive on his decisions at the last minute and able to improvise at any given moment, receiving a curveball, those group of men will allow that man to lead and they will
Yeah.
back that man up.
Yeah.
Most women, they won't do that. If the female has a problem with another female, she's gonna sabotage the situation. I
Yeah.
mean, just
Well,
cuts.
yeah. And I'll give you an example. Even though women um, have no physical strength to overthrow men, but just think about how jealous women are of men. Think about a lot of these. Let's use sports. Think about a lot of these women who believe that they should get paid on the same scale as men. They're so jealous that they've lost the sense of critical thinking and understanding economics. It's not that men are being paid more because they're men, it's because the consumer wants to see a 6'8" man flying through the air throwing a ball in the rim. Nobody wants to see a 5'11" dyke doing a layup. But see, they're so jealous that they don't like, all sense of critical thinking has left them. And I think that's the problem with a woman's jealousy, because all logic leaves their brain.
I agree. And here's the thing that's uh almost comical to me. Like some of the females are upset that the the male NBA players making certain they hit a certain tax bracket and they're wondering why they can't get paid as much. And my whole thing is like, yo, do you realize that the WNBA net worth is what, 10 million or something like that? Like, how do you expect for you to get $100 million contract when your league is not even worth that dollar amount? And like you said before, like their train of thought has been somewhat distorted because their jealousy makes them lose track on the logical perspective of things. It's like, hey,
Exactly.
I can't make this dollar amount because the NBA don't even make this dollar amount. So how
Yeah.
can I complain about something
Yeah.
that's not even feasible? You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah. You know, the one thing that I've noticed, and you're absolutely right, Rush. The one thing, what's up, D? The one thing that I've noticed
What up,
about
Dave?
a man's men, and anybody who's listening, I'm not bashing women because men are some jealous, grimy bastards too. But one thing I could tell you, what men do that I've seen that women can't do is that a man will look at a Michael Jordan, a man will look at a Neil deGrasse Tyson, a man will look at another man, and most men will say, "Hey, look, you see that guy right there? That guy is better than me." And a lot of women that I've noticed can't seem to do that. Like even when it comes to like a model, right? Let's just use like a smoking hot model, like a real model, not one of these Instagram thoughts, but like a real model. How often when you hear a woman say, "Damn, that bitch looks way better than me. That bitch is better than me." That you really don't hear that kind of thing. And I think that's the difference between a woman's view of the world and a man's view of the world.
I,
Even
I
if
think
I'm sorry, go
I
ahead.
think you're my bad, CT.
No, go ahead.
I think the reason why women do that, they can't do that, is because they want the limelight to themselves. I don't know if you
Yeah.
ever noticed, but like some attractive women, they tend to hang out with really unattractive women and create this illusion that
Yeah.
they are attractive because that it's kind of like a Jedi mind trick slash
Yeah.
um tricknology.
Exactly.
Like, you hang out with the ugly chick so that you can get all the dudes to come holler at you because you're
Yeah.
hanging out
Yeah.
with well, in lane terms, I'm trying to say is that they can't deal with competition. They can't handle
No.
the competition or
No.
pressure
Yeah,
when
no.
it
And I
comes to
think,
that.
yep. And D, you have anything to say? Sorry about that. Go ahead.
Nah, I was just listening along, trying to get a feel for the
Oh, okay.
conversation.
Yeah,
So
and
what?
so the thing is that you know it's all nature, but like I said, a woman's jealousy is a little bit different because a woman doesn't have the physical prowess to impact anything. So if a woman plans to do any type of subterfuge, it's going to be a more conniving and dubious a lot of times. And again, not to say that all women are like this, but like I said, I've noticed this, that a woman could just walk into a room, and I've seen it. I've seen how other females react. Like, look at that bitch. She ain't nobody. That ugly bitch. That bitch. And I've seen that all my life. And I've seen it even when I was in high school. Pretty girls will get attacked by the ugly girls, and even to the point where some like they will intentionally try to scratch their face. Or I've never seen anything as bad as like I told you I had a cousin who went to a school, and this was like in the 90s, but they would slash the pretty girls faces sometimes, and all of it was jealousy. Like how often, Rush, do you see short men trying to break the knees of a tall man because we're jealous of their height? No, I mean, listen,
Yeah, we don't do that.
yeah, do I get upset sometimes that I'm not 6'8"? I don't get upset. Well, I don't get upset, but do I want to be that tall? Absolutely. But I'm not about to sit up here and try to fight LeBron James and break his damn legs. But yeah, you about to be my height, nigga. No, I don't, because I respect nature for what it is. Nature made it where he is. He hit the genetic lottery, so there's nothing wrong with that. That's the way that the universe wanted it to be, I guess. And
Yeah,
there's
and I think
yeah,
men have the ability to accept the
yeah,
harsh reality because you know um we're conditioned to
Exactly.
deal with the truth, and we're able to um deal with rejection a lot better. A female, they can't really, deal with rejection.
No, because it's not, because remember, it's not, and I'm glad you said that, Rush. A woman can't deal with rejection because women grow up getting everything for free, especially if they have a father. I mean, daddy, can I have this? Dad, can I have this? And that's just a part of nature too. So women grow up getting everything, they get things done for them, they get security, they get protection, they get obviously food and shelter. So a woman gets everything. Whereas, when you're a boy, your dad tells you at like 7 years old, you can't cry anymore, you know? And, when you're 7 or 8, your dad tells you, hey, you got to go work outside in the yard and do some landscaping. Women don't do that. So um, when they become adults, they still think that, those creature comforts are available. And then the real world says, no, no, bitch, I ain't doing nothing for you. And they can't take it because they've been so conditioned to get everything. And remember, growing up, a lot of these, especially like ugly girls, growing up, their dads are telling them that they're beautiful. Well, I mean, they're beautiful to them. Yeah, why not? That's your daughter. But, when they actually see a real beautiful chick, because we all know what a real beautiful chick looks like. I mean, we can look at it, Naomi Campbell, and tell that she looks totally different from the average female. And
Oh yeah,
so,
most definitely. Yeah,
so
yeah.
imagine a girl growing up, she was raised in this, she could be raised anywhere. She's raised in a city, especially before like social media. Her dad, her uncles simping for her, and truth be told, you're supposed to simp for your daughter. And all she heard was she's beautiful. But then she looked in the mirror one day and then she compares herself to the other girls. She goes, like, think about this. College is a mind fuck, right? You're around people from all over the country sometimes. So you're around different people. So she goes to a college or something. She starts really seeing beautiful females. And then it's like, wow, I am not as cute as I thought. So then now an ugly girl becomes jealous of a pretty girl. And so it's wild though, man. Gabe, what's up?
What's going on, guys?
Yo, what up, Gabe? Salute to you.
Do
Stay
you,
geared.
Gabe, do you date a ratherly attractive female? Keep it real.
Right now, no.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
Nope. No comment. No.
He just on the he's on the bench right now. You know what I mean? Just looking around, see what's his best pick. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's
Gabe,
all.
what do you think about a woman's jealousy? And could you also compare it to a man's jealousy? Go ahead, sir.
It's like their jealousy is different than ours. They can't be jealous like we can. Just like, if like the way you love a woman, she's not going to love you the same way you love her. Same thing with jealousy. It's not going to be the same way. Because I think women are more, what's the word? Like you said, they're used to getting shit. They're not used to say the answer no. Let's put it that way. You tell them no to anything, and it's always going to be a problem.
Yeah, that's definitely true. I Rush, I think I told you this story years ago. This happened years ago before COVID. A friend of mine, it was actually Blue Cousin, that's always in the chat. A friend of ours was doing like a speed dating thing, and a lot of men weren't signing up. So he said, yo, man, we got like all these females here, but we have no men here for the females. So can y'all just come? And I'm like, man, sure, why not? Right. So we get there, it's like 75 females. It's like, man, it had to be like maybe 10 dudes, right? But the females, these were like threes and threes. These weren't really the best looking chicks. And these chicks were over 30, most of them. So I was sitting at the bar disappointed, and I was drinking some wine. And it was pretty packed. And one of the girls walked up to me and said, oh, my friend would like your seat. And I said, no. And then her friend looked at me like, excuse me? I'm like, no. She was like, well, my friend been working all day. I'm like, well, what the fuck do you think I've been doing? Who do you think are building skyscrapers? And so the look that she had on her face was like as if she's so used to men simping for her But the tragedy of it is that the girl looked like, I mean, I hate to say it, man, but the girl looked like Tempest Bledsoe from the Cosby Show. You know, the girl played Vanessa. So even the ugly girls, you know, they get so much, you know, they get catered to so much that even they get offended when things don't go their way. And that's another reason why jealousy happens. Again, an ugly girl like that, she'll move to, I'm from the Midwest, so you already know it's not that many hot chicks here. Imagine this ugly girl going to California or Florida or Miami and seeing some real chicks. Imagine the jealousy level that she's gonna have. Go ahead, guys.
Well, her mind would probably implode.
Yeah. Yeah.
From all the newness.
Yeah.
Realizing she's living in this world that is not what she thought it was.
Yeah, and I think, and I believe that's what happens with the whole jealousy thing with women. You know, their mind, you know, they believe like they really live within their own world. And then when that world is shattered, it's like, oh, okay, take this. Like, for example, I don't live in the world of Floyd Mayweather. But when I see Floyd and he's driving his Ferraris and all that, I say, damn, man. He deserves that. Wow, that's awesome. You know, and you know, there's some men who will hate on him, but I just realized, nigga, that would never be my life. I mean,
I mean,
he-
I think
yeah, go ahead.
my bad, CT. Go ahead.
What you get it for?
I think that stems from guys that have that animosity. They just see the end result. They don't see
Right.
the process and the hard work and dedication that Floyd Mayweather puts in. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
And you know, he trains on a maniacal level, and you know, most people, they don't have that kind of steadfast spirit to do things like that
So a lot
on
of
a
sacrifice.
professional level.
No,
You know?
they don't.
A lot of time, a lot of sacrifice. You're gonna be missing out on a lot of stuff.
Right. And then like I said earlier, it's about the whole thing with the like the only types of dudes that to me are the jealous types are just lazy people. And that's what I said earlier about the whole cattle thing. I said a man, he has cattle. Well, back in the day before there was law and order and courts, and another group of men, it could be his people within his own village or tribe, they could just rob him and take his stuff because they're lazy. But inherently, men aren't. I mean, I don't know if men are inherently jealous. I would hope not, but I think that jealous men are just lazy men who don't want to work and who don't understand work, like you said, Gabe. But I understand.
Those dudes that you're talking about, they tend to date the unattractive woman that provides for them.
Or not even that. They just don't date because they don't know what to do.
No,
They've never put
that's
themselves out there
not
like that.
really, because you have the ones that are not ambitious to that level where they're able to have a mouthpiece and they have the ability to seduce that female and manipulate that female to get what they need, you know?
Yeah.
I see it all the time, you know?
Normally, they like that due to insecurity, right?
No, the reason why that dude with the mouthpiece does that is because his options is limited, because he does not apply himself to his full potential, you know? So he just remains stagnant within that level, you know, dating the overweight chick and manipulating her, you know?
Yeah, so that raises the question: what does determine his full potential?
Well, you know, you may have a guy that lacks ambition where, you know, he doesn't have a trade, you know, he doesn't even work. He's just, you know, living off the female.
And what if that is actually his full potential, his purpose is to do that?
It's because no dude wants to live under the rules or thumb of a female's leadership to that degree, you know. At some point you're gonna want to, you know, take control of the situation and apply yourself and accomplish greater things in life.
Okay. So you believe that everyone purpose is the same across the board?
No, but this not me, but society looks at that in a negative light.
Okay, gotcha.
But I don't
Okay,
want to derail. I don't want to derail from the subject matter of jealousy. Let's still expound on jealousy, the female jealousy and the male's jealousy.
okay, Chaotic, hey, what's up with it? D and Gay, what's up with y'all? Sorry about that.
Going on, my man?
Man, I look at it like this, man. As a man, you should never be jealous of another man. You should be inspired by that man
I
to
agree.
want
I don't
to
even think
be.
guys really get jealous like that with other guys. It's more like envy than jealousy.
That's even worse.
Nah, envy to me
What?
is like
Yeah,
you
I
just look
mean,
at them and go,
uh,
man, I
the-
wish I had that.
like in the story I was speaking on with Professor Zoom, he holds that kind of jealousy towards the Flash. Like his jealousy is almost as if it was like a mental illness type. Know what I mean, and you do have dudes that carry that kind of energy around them, and you know what I mean, and they just destroy shit.
But isn't jealousy just a normal behavior that all of us have? And to deny that, then that denies the existence of us being human?
Well, yeah, jealousy is a normal thing, but when you're over the top like Professor Zoom, you got a problem.
When it
That's
consumes
not
you.
normal.
When it consumes you, when it's half your days being jealous,
Yeah,
that's a problem.
and you have to factor in the hate and the jealousy. You know what I mean? And that kind of jealousy and hate and envy, that could that's enough juice to allow somebody to accomplish great things just for the sake of envy and hate. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it gives you something to push for.
Yeah. You want to outshine the next man. You know what I mean? And I know some people will say, yo, that's being competitive. That's not like Professor Zoom. His shit was just all over the top. You know what I mean? But yeah, in some way it could be a more of a competitive spirit. But in that case, nah, this is just kind of being obsessed and fueled with hate, envy, and rage, and so.
Yeah. I can understand the competitive part. Because I'm like Michael Jordan competitive. Like, I'm that serious, no matter what it is. Took me a long time to finally kind of chill out a little bit. Just a little bit, though.
Yeah. I mean, Michael Jordan was a great athlete, but you also, when you think about Michael Jordan, you also think about Scottie Pippen and the Bulls. That was his greatest, one of his like that.
His competitive drive,
Right.
I think, puts him over everybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's safe to say that any type of jealousy that's deemed inappropriate or negative, that end up ultimately have a negative behavior, right? That's the type of jealousy that the social norm don't want to have. Is that correct?
What do you mean? Expand on that. Like, give me a little bit more detail.
Y'all was explaining earlier that y'all making a comparison about the jealousy, right? You're saying that one form of jealousy, it could be used as a competitive state, right? Where a person's just trying to compete to be the better person than the next. Then y'all saying another form of jealousy is when it goes over the top, where that person wants to do physical, mental, and spiritual harm.
Yeah, to that, not just exit out the harm, but yeah, like their life is dedicated to outshine this person, because whatever that person has is something that they want, and they want to emulate that. And to me, I think that's being obsessed. Your whole life is dedicated to look better than the next, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Now, if you factor out the hurt part there, what is wrong with that person having that level of jealousy when it's ultimately helping them to fulfill their divine goal?
Um, like it's not good. Okay. Let me tell you why it's not good. And I know this is a bad analogy, but I'm going to use Zuko from the last Airbender. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that,
Oh
but
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yo, Zuko, he was an ill firebender because his most of his strength and energy derives from his hatred towards the Avatar. The reason why he developed a strong hatred towards the Avatar is because he wanted to redeem his father's love again. Know what I mean, but because he was banished from the kingdom, and his father informed him that he needs to, and the only way he'll be accepted back to the kingdom if he brings back the Avatar, dead or alive. You know, within that pivotal moment, his fuel and rage and hatred, uh, energy that made him an ill firebender comes from that hate towards the firebender. I mean, towards the not firebender, towards the last airbender, which was Aang. But because when he linked up with Aang and discovered that he had to teach Aang how to firebend, he lost his hatred towards Aang, and within that moment, he couldn't be able to firebend or even conjure up fire at that point because all his energy and his strength came from hate. You know what I mean? If that make any
Hmm.
sense.
Yeah. So yeah. So it's safe to say that that level of jealousy is beneficial, right?
Uh but what do you
Because
do?
because
But
look,
what?
ultimately,
Hold on. Let me say this, Urban. Oh, what do you do when you lose that hate and rage? How are you going to able to progress and thrive? You lost your form of drive at that point. If it stems from that, you know.
I mean, it could be rechanneled through another one means because in the same story, right? He did lose his hatred towards Aang because he Zuko figured out that all his rage and jealousy stuff it really came from him trying to be accepted by his father. So he ended up redirecting and refocusing it on um, destroying his father and becoming, you know, what I'm saying the king of that kingdom by dethroning his father or helping Aang do that. Correct.
Right. Uh,
And yeah,
y-
also in the final battle of the season and stuff, right? Zuko ended up fighting against his sister, so he ended up redeveloping his fire bender when he started fighting against his sister at the very end, which ultimately he ended up defeated her.
Yeah, yeah, you're almost right about that. But he ended up rediscovering his fire bending technique when he linked up with the oldest dragon. Know what I mean, and he
Hmm.
had to um when he linked up with the oldest dragon, the two last dragons. Okay, wow. Okay. There was a part where Aang and Zuko had to go to the spot where the Sun Tribe was doing their thing. Now, the reason why they had to link up with the Sun Tribe is because Zuko needed to get his firebending back. He lost his firebending because he lost his hatred and envy towards Aang. Now, he was able to rediscover his true power when he linked up with the last two dragon, and that's why he was able to firebend again because he understand the root and power of firebending. I mean, from a different like he wasn't driven by hate and anger no more. It was like love and peace and shit. I mean, and he discovered it when he linked up with the two last dragons. Because there was a point where the fire tribe they killed out all the dragons, but Ozai, Uncle Ozai, which is Zuko's uncle, they thought he killed the last two dragons, but he didn't. Like, because you know Zuko, yeah, he was rolling with the Fire Nation, but Zuko, I mean not Zuko, Ozai, whatever, Uncle Ozai, his uncle. he was even though he was rolling with the Fire Nation, he was a good dude. Know what I mean, like he would do kind shit behind the scenes, even though he was rolling with the Fire Nation. He had no choice because they were the dominant race and it was running shit at the time. Know what I mean, but yeah, that's how Zuko. But he did fight his sister though to receive the throne.
I would like to go back to something real quick because I could rush.
Oh yeah, most definitely, yeah.
When I was a kid in the 90s, the bigger girls were typically the more sweeter ones. They were the ones who were nice. They were the ones who would do your homework. They were just as nice girls. Now, were all big girls like that back in the day? I don't know. Only the ones that I knew. But the older I got, I saw the tides shifting, where the big girls would say, girl, you need to eat some food. Girl, you need to do this. Girl, you thin. Girl, you to this, you to that. And that is another jealousy tactic that women will do as well. Whereas a man can be out of shape, and a man could say, I need to get my fat ass in the gym. I need to get my out of shape ass in the gym. I need to, because the standard of masculinity has always been the Greek muscular pose, or like the Schwarzenegger pose. That's always been the standard of masculinity, or the standard.
I know the word muscle stems from the mouse.
Oh,
because it looks, when you flex your bicep, it looks like a mouse is running up your arm. Some shit like that I read.
I never knew that, but the thing
Fun
is
fact.
that, yep, and that's what I'm saying. Men, we will look at another man, and again, it could be like I'm gonna use Schwarzenegger, and a man could say, "Damn, man, like I really wish I looked like that." Now that's a little bit of envy, but it's also a little bit of, I need to start working out. I need to be a better person, because we recognize that person is better. Whereas women, they'll look at a thin supermodel who's 5'10", and they'll say, "Oh, that bitch, she need to eat some food. She need to do this," because she knows that woman is better, but she doesn't want to admit it. That's jealousy.
I totally agree, and they do use that tactic, where they, I wouldn't say attacked it, but I do understand what you're saying. And when it comes to the reason why men could accept a man that's, I don't want to use the word better, but they understand that this male is on a different level of success, whether if it's his physique or financially. They understand the process that they go through to achieve that goal. They just don't look at the end results. The guy that's jealous of the dude that these great accomplishments, he just sees the end result. He doesn't have a full concept on the process that the dude that has the Greek bod, he doesn't understand the process that he has to wake up early in the morning, eat right, have a level of discipline on the food that he eats, and another type of discipline is having the motivation to go to the gym and get the work done. The guy that does not have a full understanding of this process would just hate that individual that has a chiseled up body.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? And I feel like a lot of men, and you're absolutely right, Rush, and I feel like a lot of men now have picked up on feminine traits, even in terms of jealousy. So back in the day, a man could have a Maserati, and he'll be with his son. He'll say, "You see that guy right there driving on the street, Bob or Billy? That's Mr. Johnson. Be like Mr. Johnson." So the father recognizes that car is better than his car, that man is probably better than him financially. But he also says, you know what? Don't be like me to his son. Be like that guy. But nowadays, you have men that'll say, "Who's that, Mr. Johnson? Fuck him. I hope he crashes his car. Fuck him."
Yeah.
lot
No,
more of
that's a
that shit.
fact, man.
Yeah.
Street to hating.
Yeah, you see a lot more of that shit.
And
Yeah.
that oh man, I'm glad you said that, man, because you know you tend to bump into people like that, and it drains your energy, man,
Yeah.
because of that energy so negative,
Yeah.
you know. And they just see you doing like sometimes when you like I'm gonna use you for an example,
Yeah, go ahead.
CT,
Yeah.
like you know people will look at you as like, yo, damn, like, yo, this dude came up with 2 channels. His other channel got 3,000 subs. This channel got 1,000 and some change. It's like, yo, fuck CT. But yo, I saw the process on what you did to build both those channels, man. And yo, I commend you on that, man. Like I think, yo, you have a lot of drive and ambition. And let me say this, nigga. I saw you last night, nigga, on Things panel. What's his name?
Black Man Unfiltered.
Black Man Unfiltered. You was doing your thing on there, and it was like 1 a.m. and you still woke up in the morning and still handled this live stream. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yo, man, like people, they don't see the hard work you put in, man. You put in a lot of hard work, man.
Thank you.
You know, a dude that see the end results of your accomplishment, they gonna say, yeah, fuck CT. That
Yeah.
nigga, he ain't shit. But they don't understand the process of hard work that you put in, man. You know what I'm saying? And you're a perfect example of that. You know what I mean?
Yep. Thank you very much, man.
Oh yeah, man. Trust me, man. I recognize your hard work, bro. Straight up.
Yeah.
Yo, CT, I understand your comparison that you're using. At one point, that you have a person. It could be man or woman. You know what I'm saying? Because both of us get jealous. But at one point, the type of jealousy it will drive them to be, you know what I'm saying, to be the best version of themselves.
Exactly. That's what I was saying. Yep.
And then another version of it is that it will create what everybody else is talking about on this panel, envy and jealousy, where they just straight up hating. But the reason why it's like that is because they're insecure, and at the end of the day, they want to be accepted. That's where it boils down to. Like when you talk about the bigger heavyset woman or whatever stuff, right? At the end of the day, she just wants people to accept her and to acknowledge her. She don't want to change how the way she is. She don't want to work out. She want to be exactly how she is. Same thing with as we call these beta male hypersensitive simps out there, dudes. At the end of the day, they don't want to change. They want to chill, be the lazy dude, and want to be accepted as that.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree. Yo, like now the female jealousy is a lot more powerful because she could destroy a lot of shit with her cunningness and her form of beauty. You know what I mean? The dude, his jealousy is more of a nuisance because it's just like you're tapping into a feminine energy. Well, I wouldn't say a feminine energy, but you're tapping into a frail type energy, like, and you're just fucking up shit too. Know what I mean? But but it's a dude doing it, you know, which it could lead into you know, a physical altercation. You know what I mean? You got some dudes with that kind of uh jealousy where they're not how can I say, socially savvy. Like, yo, they tend to use brute force. You know what I mean? Like they can't like and like they can't have a tangible or respectable discourse in a civil manner. They will have to result into using force because they can't really articulate, you know, certain words to express their feelings on certain things that they don't agree with. And when they carry that kind of jealousy, it just comes out with just brute force, which would lead into a physical altercation. You got those jealous type niggas out there too that move like that. You know what I mean? What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, again, it goes back to what I keep saying, that men, the scary thing about a man who's jealous and who can't control his emotions and who can't learn from his jealousy is that men are strong physically. And whether it's robbery or burglary or even murder, a jealous man is more dangerous in terms of the immediate impact. You know,
That's why it's a crime of passion.
I had to. I've told the story over and over. I have a friend of mine who's unfortunately no longer here. He actually deleted himself. Unfortunately, he had to shoot and kill 2 individuals that were trying to rob him, and the dudes were just trying to rob him over stuff in his house. And well, I think the other dude survived, but the other dude, it was one of them that got killed. And that's the tragedy of it. Jealous men would do things like that. They tried to rob him and he just shot him. And the fact of the matter is that a man's jealousy, if it goes unchecked, man, it's pretty bad. But you are right. But there's a good thing that ancient man created the laws and courts so that we don't have so basically we can protect ourselves and insulate ourselves from the savages at B, or that actually exist. What say you guys?
Yeah, I agree. I think certain laws protect certain men from because like here's the thing, right? When you're if you're surrounded by low lives, their lifestyle can affect your life. You know what I mean? Especially for example, if you're a correctional officer, you're around you're in an environment where a lot of shit can go down, and that would have an effect on your life, whether if you live or not, even the psychological impact that stems from that can affect you too, so being around that kind of energy is not a good thing. I know my analogy is pretty weak with the corrections officer in the an aggressive environment within the prison. It's not that good, but hopefully I get my point across.
I want to go back to what you're saying about the socially awkward dude.
Mm-hmm.
The thing with guys is either where women, they don't what's the word I'm looking for? They learn from it. See, with a guy, they could be socially awkward at first, but then they kind of figure it out as they go along over time.
Right. And that's I know what you mean. Yeah, go ahead.
I'd say like Frankenstein. He was just a fucking zombie dude, and he saw a little girl playing with a doll in the river. He didn't know any better, so he threw this chick in the river.
Right.
That's what he saw. He thought he was playing around. He didn't mean it like that, but that's just how it went down.
But now I got a question for CT. Now, do you think jealousy is a learned behavior, or that's something that stems from the genetics?
I think it's genetics.
Yeah, I think we all have that.
Yeah, I think all human beings have it. I think people, just like with racism or anything else, it's levels to it. I think some people have higher levels of jealousy. Some people have very little to none. I think some people have, just like with intelligence. Intelligence is genetic. So I think jealousy is definitely genetic.
Yeah, it's on genetics, and it's also based on the product of your environment as well too. That's where the level part comes from. What Kayate is talking about. So let's say for example, if you live in an environment where it's quote unquote ghetto, and you're around people who resemble this type of behavior every single day, including your parents, it's more than likely you're going to develop that same type of behavior.
So it's nature and nurture?
Exactly.
Nature versus nurture. Okay, I got it. Yeah, I mean, and that's where the positive reinforcement and the negative reinforcement come into play. So yeah, it depends on the environment, because you might be in an environment. you might be in a can I hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, you might
I hear you.
you might be in an environment that encourages and that fuels that jealousy act. Know what I mean? But or you might be in an environment that diffuses it. Know what I mean? Like, you might have people that'll check you like, yo, listen, man, you gotta, keep that jealousy in check. They might not call it jealousy, but yeah, like, yo, you kind of wild. You know what I mean? I think it depends where you're from. It could be a little bit of your genetics, and like you would now when you say with TT, um uh racism is a genetic thing. I wouldn't call it racism. I would call it within our genetics. I would call it self-preservation. Anything that phenotypically looks similar to you, you would tend to want to group with that and thrive with that. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of like a natural thing.
Yeah,
that we do.
we're all tribal at heart.
Yeah, I believe so.
And just look at sports teams. There's Red Sox hate Yankees because it's like
Yeah.
that's your, it's your team. Same concept.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yo, man, jealousy is a tricky thing, man. It could definitely, I want to say positive outputs on it, but yo, it can give you that extra, drive to try to outshine. I mean, your counterparts or friend or foe.
Yeah, exactly. I agree to that. And also, just to be transparent about it, me personally, there's certain things that I do be jealous over, but they don't be in a way where it's negative jealousy, where I'm so envious of this person that I don't want to see them exist on this planet no more. My form of jealousy is that it inspires me to be even better. If I see someone who's doing something better than me, it inspire me to do the same thing or even better, or at least equal to that.
Right, and I feel you on that. Yo, like, like, have you experienced people being jealous towards you, and how do you handle it?
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Like, say for example, with my current platform right now, the state game team, they call me urban bougie, right? Meaning that I put in a whole lot of work on my platform every single day. So I spend time and time and time figure out what can I do better, how can I improve it every single moment. And when I figure something out, I just do it and see if it works. And so, like the state game team, shout out to state game. They say,
State
Urban, you just be
game?
state game. But Urban, they be like, Urban, you being way too bougie, bro. All you got to do is do this and that and that. But I tell them like, no, it just in me that I want to be better. I want to be at my fullest potential, especially on this platform and stuff. So I always strive to be that way. I'm not telling y'all to be just like me, but this is what I do. And actually that's how the way I be in. I always say, just in my life period, whatever I do, I always try to do the best I can. Then I help people who get jealous of that. They'll try to talk down on me. They'll say, you're doing too much. And basically they just try to bring me down to their level.
Word. And yo, you definitely have a professional setup, man. Like, it's your camera is on point, your mic is on point. I'm like, damn, this nigga got a professional setup, man, and it looks good. I guess that's why some of us call you bougie. You're
Oh yeah. I be looking at everybody on platform, including Chaotic. You know what I'm saying? I was looking at how the way he got it set up. I was like, oh hell no, let me figure this out.
yeah.
But no, it's in a good way though, bro. It's in a good way.
Yeah, I got a good setup, man. Real professional too, And and that's kind of like a marketing scheme. The more professional your pixels are and the sound is more professional, it's gonna bring in more subs and viewers because it's on a professional level. You guys do this for real. Yeah.
even if you're
You
not.
know?
Yeah,
And
and
yeah, go ahead.
that's ultimately like me personally. That's ultimately my goal is that I want to stand out among everybody. I want to be in that same competitive market as people are considered on that level.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because now you're at a competitive. You're on a competitive level where you're able to compare yourself to the mainstream people, like the angry man, the Kevin Samuels type. You're at a level where you're trying, not trying, but are competing. Once you get to certain views and subs, you'll be at a professional level where you can compete against these guys.
Yeah, facts. They're not only competing, but my also desire is also to network with some many people, especially in the Black YouTube sector and other sectors as well.
Yeah, yeah. And yo man, like this is like a new wave, man. Like I believe like in a few years from now, like television will probably be through YouTube. I think
I think it's that way for a lot of people right now.
yeah, like the cables and the direct TV satellites and all that, they're about to get phased out. Know what I mean? And the YouTube and streaming line is going to be the main wave now. It's already happening now. Look at the views on television in comparison to the views on YouTube. YouTube is beating a lot of these mainstream television shows, man. I mean, that's just showing you that people are divesting from cable, my nigga. You know what I mean?
And there's just much more, choices out there in the market.
Right. Especially in the streaming service lane, like you could pick any streaming service and get the subscription with them and watch old 80 shows if you wanted to. Know what I mean?
Mhm.
Or watch new shit or in between shit, like this is the future that we're in and this is where we're headed towards, shit is changing, man.
So you kind of have to always have something that makes you different.
Yeah.
Was that a sneeze, or were you like?
Yeah,
Wait,
a little bit under the weather.
I
Yeah,
thought you were going like, what the hell is this guy talking about?
yeah.
Yo, is it cold? Is it cold out there in Ohio?
Nah, it's
In
pretty
Cleveland?
warm today.
Yeah, it's been cold over here in Jersey, man. Like summer still hasn't hit us yet, man.
Yeah, it's pretty warm. It's been warm for the past couple of weeks. Yeah. This is like way off the subject, but I woke up this morning thinking about this. But this is totally off the subject, Rush.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know why I woke up this morning thinking about this, but I think a lot of it had to do with that whole alien UFO committee thing from the other day that sparked this idea. But what do you guys think the world would look like if the Roman Empire never fell?
Oh, it would be we would be like a lifeless society, my nigga. Like so strict, can't do shit. It'll be like this whole world be like China, straight out. What do you
Everything
think?
fails at some point, so it's going to have to end at some point. I don't know how much longer it would have went, but not
That's
every last
hypothetically speaking. Let's entertain this. I believe that if Rome were to still be rulership now, I mean, like it'll be like China, like mass strict, can't really do shit, and they will probably still be using people to fight, animals for entertainment. I mean,
So I had a funny idea. With the Roman Empire actually falling, you're talking about 1,000 years of pretty much the Dark Ages or the Middle Ages, where there was a stagnation, which is true, which happened. I believe if the Roman Empire had not fallen, and it would have continued on its course in terms of all the ingenuity, architecture, scientific, and technological endeavors that they had. I really believe that they would have landed on the moon like in the year 12 1300. And I think by now we would be a Star Wars like society. Like we would be that advanced. I think that the Romans
Oh,
were.
okay, so you think the Romans were advanced socially?
Oh, they were advanced socially at their time. I mean, they had public education systems. I mean, even though they had an emperor, they still had a checks and balance system. They had a democracy. They had a system where the people.
I believe niggas from Greece could have, if they were in rulership, they probably would accomplish it, because you know a lot of their philosophy stuff. You know what I mean? Kind of still hit home till this day. You know?
Well, yeah. Well, the Romans were pretty advanced for their time period, and a lot of their decline came about through their expansion. But I really believe if they had maybe not have expanded to the point where they were thinning out their resources, I mean, it would be a super society. I believe that there would have been no Western society. Certainly would have been no Middle Ages, no dark plagues, none of that. And it's quite possible that the Romans or the entire planet itself would have been civilized thousands of years ago compared to just recently. So I don't know. I don't know why I had that thought, but yeah.
No, I mean, let's still expound on this. I mean, if okay, so you're saying that the Roman people were more advanced than people from Greece. Is that what you're saying?
Well, the Greek Empire had fallen by the time the Roman Empire came into existence.
Yeah, because remember, this
Yeah.
Greek mythology turned into Roman.
The Romans. This was
Same
thousands
gods,
of years.
different
after.
names.
Yeah. If you want to look at it in terms of real powers, you had Egypt, then you had Assyria, then you had Babylon.
Okay, but okay, what
Yeah.
about Julius Caesar? Julius Caesar's genius came from Greek philosophy.
Well, whether
also-
or not it came from Greek philosophy or not, the Roman Empire was a force to be reckoned with. First of all, they
The only
conquered.
reason why they were a force to be reckoned with is because of the knowledge that they received from Greece.
Well, yeah, I mean, that may be true, but what the Romans did was essentially they conquered most, if not all, of the white tribes. You know, the barbarians, for example.
They were able to do that because they got the knowledge from the Greece.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's possibly true, but nevertheless, though, I really believe that if the Romans had maintained power, I'm telling you, like we probably would have Martian colonies by now. Like we probably would be insanely advanced.
I mean, as far as war like type, I think word out. But as far as like on an intellectual level, I would lean towards Greece for that, not niggas from Rome. Niggas from Rome, they smart, but I look at niggas from Rome like grimy, shiesty niggas that's able to do business. No, seriously. That's how I look at Rome. But I look at Greece as more as the intellectual, the people that's able to shit. They're the one who discovered the cell, right? Yo,
Discovered what?
CT.
They discovered the cell.
Yeah, the actual cell, a living cell.
I
The
don't know.
cell.
I don't know who discovered the cell.
It was people from Greece, but I guess that'd be a different topic. But I would look towards niggas from Greece to able to do that if they had the rulership this long. You know what I mean? Not Rome.
We probably already have had an advanced civilization who had to move the civilization subterranean or on floor of the ocean during.
You're talking about the people from Atlantis, huh?
That's what I guess Jay Boogie's talking about.
It could be, the Aztecs too, or the Incas.
Okay. Here's the story about the people from Atlantis. They're trying to say that the people from Atlantis really derives from Venus, which was they were considered to be the Zulu tribe, and for some reason they migrated to Earth. and they had their own spot, which is Atlantis, where they had like advanced technology and all this shit. And fast forward, their land or island was some believe was destroyed and it sank under the ocean, and some believe that there is a subterranean city down there for people that's from Atlantis.
Now, I do want to point out that the Romans introduced different schools of thought. Like I had totally forgot, but one of them it's called Stoicism.
Yes, on Stoicism.
Yeah, I've totally forgot about it. And then they absolutely took at the time Christianity, a philosophy, and they implemented that.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Oh, you sure it's Christianity? Because at that time. Okay. Yeah. You're right.
Holy Roman Empire. Yeah, they took Christianity and made that a focal point of their society as well. Mm-hmm. And it's other things too, like cynicism, Neoplatonist. So yeah, the Romans were very philosophical people, and especially, I mean, you got to remember too.
Yeah, I didn't say. Hold on. I didn't say they weren't philosophical. I'm just saying that they wasn't on the same level as niggas from Greece. That's all I'm saying. When I think of Rome, I think of like get money type niggas and expansion and expanding and conquering other cats. You know what I mean? On some crime mob type shit.
Yeah, they had to conquer other like European tribal, European groups, because they were inherently keeping Europe back. I mean, you got to think about Rome itself, especially during that time. It's civilized. There's systems of education. There's systems of, in terms of supply chain management for food and other resources like water. They have the aqueducts that carried sewage out of the city. They were advanced, unlike many primitive groups in other parts of Europe, Africa, India, etc. And if they would have allowed these tribal groups to exist, it would have held them back. And I think that's one of the reasons why Africa and even parts of Asia are being held back. Even to this day, we have too many tribal groups. These groups are practicing tradition that goes back tens of thousands of years, but it doesn't apply to the current society now. And I believe that's one of the reasons why the Romans were successful to a degree. But yeah, it was just a thought that I had, though. Go ahead.
I mean, do you believe in one world and a one world government?
Oh, I certainly do. I believe that there should be one lingua franca, meaning one language. I mean, you can still speak your other languages, but the global language should definitely be English. There should be a global currency. There should be, and truth be told, there should be a global government. Now, should there be a global head of state? Now, that's probably where I draw the line. Maybe.
Well, that's what you're kind of rooting for if you want everything to be fused in one.
Nevertheless, I mean, you got to think about this. The more advanced we get as a society, the more you're going to have to get rid of the inferior languages and inferior culture. Well, I mean, I don't mean to, go ahead.
Yo, I gotta ask you this. What? A lot of people. Oh man, a lot of people is gonna probably like talk shit about this. But what makes a language inferior?
Like a language that does not have the standing of okay. So, for example, let's talk about the Gypsies, right? The Gypsies are a group of pretty much nomads, and they've been like that since ancient Greece. But when you think in terms of business, nobody speaks their language. Nobody does import exports with them. There's no development that comes from these people.
Okay.
This language be the global language, just like
because my bad, CT. It's like when you say, if I know people's gonna take, I know what you're saying. Yeah, well, people they're gonna take it. I mean, they're gonna take it the wrong way, man.
To be completely honest with you, English is the superior language on the planet, and it's superior because of what the English did. They went throughout the world conquering and colonizing people, and they made that the standard. Now, if the Yorubas would have done that, I would have said the Yoruba language is the
Well,
superior language.
well, I forgot what year this was, but the only reason why English is the standard language now is because we voted for it, and we beat the votes by one vote over the Russian native language. If it wasn't for that last vote, all of us will be speaking Russian for our main language. But it's
Well,
just so
we speak English because the English at one point literally had colonies all over the planet,
right.
and
But
they taught
there,
and they go ahead.
there was a certain point where we voted for that. You know what I mean? Like there was a option whether if we were going to speak Russian for the main language or English for the main language. It just so happened that the English language won that vote. I mean,
Well, the fact is that the English, the settlers of America, or the colonies originally spoke English, and English just became the dominant language just by default in America, for example. And to be completely honest with you, the biggest military on the planet was English, the
Yep.
English military. So they've pretty much forced the language on people throughout the planet. And now you already know, in terms of business, the most wealthiest companies on the planet are founded in the Western Hemisphere, which are America, and they're English. So if you're starting a company in China, I mean, yeah, you may speak Mandarin, but it's probably better for you to have your C-suite executives or your vice presidents, somebody learn English so that they can do business with overseas partners who are English, who are
right.
English speaking people.
I think it's sometime in the future. I think because the way if money ever gets converted into a uh digital lane and using blockchains and shit like that, I think we'll probably have to learn Mandarin, know the Mandarin language at some point in the future. I just
Actually,
don't
you
know
don't
when.
need to at all because the translation's so good now that you can, can't you talk on Skype now and it'll translate for you? I think it does that.
I've never tried it.
We're really on the brink of
Yeah,
where
you're
you don't even need to
absolutely
learn
correct.
it. It'll
Yeah,
just be done
so
for you.
so universal translators have been theorized in Star Trek going back 60 years. So you're correct. The idea is that through Google, which I've seen it, you speak your native language and then it translated into the other person's language and vice versa. So yeah, these things they exist right now. I can't think of the device right now, but you could just walk around with it, and it's not a Google device, but yeah, it translates your language into whatever language of the host country, and they hear it in their language, and then they can talk. And yeah, it's yeah. So universal translators will be a thing of the future. Correct.
There are
Yeah,
a couple out there.
the modern day iPhones does that right now.
Correct. Yeah.
But there's one device, right? That only a couple out where you can actually speak into it in your language, and it'll in the real time it'll speak it in their language to them.
That's
So
dope.
Yeah, you'll be like, if you're in China somewhere and you need a cab, and you're like, "Where's the cab?" And then it'll say it in whatever it is they speak, and you all understand each other. It's that easy.
Yeah, and as a collective, as a collective together, I think we could accomplish more things together than instead of us being more tribal. Because the more people that work together, you could discover a lot more things together, and accomplish more. So maybe a guy from, I don't know, Tanzania links up with somebody from South Boston, they're able to communicate because of this device, and then maybe those two individuals for those two places link up, and they're probably able to accomplish a lot of things, like I don't know, create a machine that lightens up gravity, some type of shit. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just using it for an example. I'm not saying like, I mean, concrete fact, but I'm just, you know what I mean? Yeah, y'all know what I'm saying. I mean,
Yeah.
Hey, real quick. I just want to redirect for one moment. Calvin, you was talking about the Roman Empire, right? I got a
Yeah.
question for you.
Go ahead, sir.
Dr. Umar Johnson, he been talking a lot about integration, right? He was saying that the reason why the black community or the African community, or however way he put it, the diaspora, wherever however way he put it, right? He was saying one of the biggest downfall for the community is integration. So he's saying that we need to learn to be separate from that. Now, based on what you said earlier about the Roman Empire, right? Do you believe that integration was the ultimate cause for their downfall?
So a lot of my brother actually is a Roman historian, actually, and a lot of the information I get is actually from him. But he theorizes that it definitely was integration and other decay. But I don't believe it was that. I believe it was pretty much what we are going through now, even in our own society. Like, think about this, for example, right? We have these technological devices called phones, and these phones can access information at the speed of light. You literally can learn brain surgery at the speed of light. Now, will you be a brain surgeon? No, but you will at least have a somewhat basic understanding of how the brain works, etc. But instead of using these devices for intellectual pursuits, we use them to watch.
Use it for fuck shit, basically.
Yeah, dumb shit. And people spend hours watching cat videos, hours of watching fighting videos, hours watching doing nothing. And I think the same thing pretty much happened in ancient Rome. I think that the people became so educated because remember, the literacy rates in ancient Rome were low because it was public education systems there. But I think that they were doing the same thing. I think that they became idle. So in that idleness, what do? You do dumb shit. So that's where you see all those pictures of them having wild orgies and parties, this, that, and the other, because they reached a certain height of advancement that may have been too fast for their own social development. So it's just like with the phone, like again with social media, maybe we weren't supposed to have all these things maybe for another 50 years. But you see what we're doing with them now, where we taking these devices and we're acting a fool. We're essentially doing the same thing that the Romans were doing, partying and orgies and all that. When in fact, we should be using Google to research quantum mechanics and things of that magnitude, and that this, that, and the other. Like, for example, like the other day when I was on the panel, well, not the other day, last night, like Urban, you heard the people on the panel talking about how black boys are illiterate. Well, how in the hell can you be? How is it possible in the year 2022 you still have illiteracy? It's especially with Google and things of this magnitude. You shouldn't have that, and especially in America, in one of the, if not the most advanced country on the planet. But again, these boys, and I've been a teacher, instead of using the devices to pursue intellectualism, they rather watch rap videos all day. And so the thing in the matter is that I think the decay of Rome came about through laziness and the and just abandoning intellectual pursuits. Like
Gotcha.
there was no more wars to be fought. There was no more struggles. So why do I need to learn all of this? Why do I need to learn math? Now, you would think in the 1930s, scientists were rushing to learn the latest scientific endeavor or idea or this, that, and the other, because they had to win a war. So they had to figure out, okay, how do we make this bomb that, so they had to research and study. But we don't have that
anytime you have
anymore.
what you called technology discovery, it always goes to war first. How can we use this to fuck up other people?
Yeah.
It's either that or how can we use it to fuck other people?
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's what happened with Rome. You know, I really believe it was like some sort of internal social decay.
Gotcha. Now another follow-up question too, real
go ahead.
quick. Now let's say that we learned from the Roman Empire, right, on our counterparts, right? We learned from that, right? And we're focused right now in the modern day culture, right? You was making reference, saying that instead of us evolving ourselves every single day, especially intellectually involving ourselves, we decide to do idle things, which is to be entertained. Do you believe that the government should sanction certain type of laws where it will deregulate the use for people to have these type of entertainments, but only focus it for intellectual purposes only?
Oh, absolutely not. I mean, no. I believe that we should have less government. Hell no. I think that it should just be it should be a natural progression of the people to evolve socially. You know,
Actually, it
you
kind of
can't.
sounds like communism you were explaining there.
Yeah, I don't think the government should have that much power at all. I mean, you know, the idea of the government doing that is appalling, in my opinion. I think it should just be a natural progression, you know, and I think that's where you get the what is it, like almost like Darwin's law. Like eventually, dumb people will breed out, or eventually smart people will breed out of existence. It's just all up to how it goes with human nature.
Yeah, absolutely. So I don't know, because I kind of straddled the fence on this a little bit about communism, right? A lot of things that we do as human, we really do some dumb stuff for real. Sometimes I just honestly believe that some of us really do need to be under control, because if we're not under some type of control or under some type of law regulating us, then we'll be doing anything. Like, say for example, in this country right now, there's a lot of laws that prohibit us for doing too much of senseless murders, even though people are doing it right now. But there's certain laws that kind of governs that and control it. You know what I'm saying? Even simple laws such as driving, for example, where they regulated stop signs, and you got to be a certified driver and all these different things. But if these type of laws didn't exist, then it'll be a lot of people who just do dumb stuff every single day. They'll be driving 100 miles an hour in
I think people
a
do
high
dumb stuff
traffic
regardless.
community where children is at.
Don't forget, driving is a privilege, not a right.
Yeah, I mean, like even if whether having those laws implemented into our lifestyle, yes, it does help, and it lowers the percentage of people acting stupid. But people are going to be doing stupid things anyway,
Yeah, agreed. And that's why I was saying, well, do y'all think that it need to be a high level control? That way, these type of people know without a shadow of doubt that they'll be penalized severely for the type of choices that they make negatively.
Well, at what like for okay, give me an example.
Well, the example is that just what happened in Boston. You know what I'm saying? Where this dude walk into a supermarket and end up on killing all these people senselessly, right?
That happened in Buffalo, New York.
I mean, yeah, Buffalo, my bad, bro. But you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's an example right there.
That situation, man. I think, I think he's a paid agent to try to conjure up a race war. You know what I mean? He had, the body armor, the assault. What kind of gun? That was like some government issue shit he had, man. Like the type of gun he had, you can't go to no regular store and get that shit. You know what I mean? Like that seems kind of suspicious to me. You know what I mean, what are y'all thoughts on that?
I believe that that these incidents are isolated. They're not regulated or relegated to any particular race, because we've had blacks in the 90s In one particular was the 1993 Long Island Railroad shooting, where Colin Ferguson murdered 7 or 8 whites and shot like 20 something of them because he believed that whites were inferior to him. So I believe that these people are mentally ill. It's appalling. It's disgusting. Is there some sort of cabal or some sort of government faction that gets these people to do it? Nah,
I don't think so either.
I'm not gonna necessarily say that's not the truth, but I just think that these people are mentally ill, and um, will it continue to happen? Obviously, yeah. If you have a country where you have gun laws that are very, very relaxed, so yeah, that's my opinion, Rush.
Yeah, I mean, it could possibly be a isolated situation. But if it is a isolated situation, how do you prevent for something like that from happening again? Like, what kind of laws would you implement within Buffalo, New York, to prevent something like that from happening again?
Well,
Like,
it's not that it won't ever happen again. It's
mhm.
just the fact that we're still primitive,
Yep.
as human beings. You have some groups of people who are a little bit more advanced and civilized, like the Japanese. But generally speaking, human beings are very primitive and very violent. And until we get to a level of, advancement, in terms of socially, yeah, you're gonna have things like that happen all the time. He probably has bad genetics. He could be it could be a flaw within his genetic template. You know, Obviously he's retarded, because if he was intelligent, he would know that blacks don't even constitute more than 10% of the U.S. population. The fact that this Nimrod had to drive 2 hours just to find black people, on the first hour of the drive, he should have figured it out. Like, damn, it ain't that many black people in the country. I got to drive 2 damn hours to find blacks.
Now, where do you think this kind of hatred stems from?
It's
Do you
not just
think it was?
I don't think it's hatred. I think he's mentally ill.
Yep. I would say the same thing.
I don't think it's hatred at all. I don't even think it's race. I think he's just mentally ill. I mean, he had a conversation with a black dude the day before when he was scoping out the place. His best friend supposedly is Hispanic, and his best friend has a black girlfriend. I saw the girl. I just think that this kid was mentally ill. I think that he probably has a low IQ, and he's using black people as it's like he was playing a game in his own head, like a Call of Duty game or
Well,
something.
I mean, he can't be that slow because he has, like, using
Well,
those kind of firearms takes a lot of memory and
I mean, they've taught
um.
monkeys how to sign language. I mean, it's you could teach. I mean,
Oh
we're
well, hold on. If you don't, some people can assemble those firearms as simple as putting a puzzle together. Like it takes time and practice to be able to assemble firearms at that level. You know what I mean? So he can't be that slow.
well. I
Like
mean, like I
Because
said
like,
before. Yeah,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
I'll say, well, use the Columbine example. When you really like read up about these kids, these two guys, one kid
mhm.
was pretty much a sociopath, and the other was just kind of a lackey that just went along with it.
Okay. Now, was he medically diagnosed as a sociopath, or this is something that everybody just said he was a sociopath?
His tenants, like even his parents are like saying that he's kind of not always normal, or he would do shit
Okay.
like like
Mhm.
mean shit, or he didn't feel anything afterwards.
I
Okay.
mean, here goes the thing, man. Criminal acts. I mean, you could be Ted Kaczynski, obviously a person who probably had a 180 IQ. He's a mathematician, and he was a murderer. I mean, but then you could have this kind of kid. Um, you know, I mean, the difference between him and a Ted Kaczynski is Ted
But
Kaczynski.
okay, the
Go
question people
ahead.
might have for you, CT,
Go ahead.
um, like like why would you assume that it's a mental illness? And don't you think it's kind of suspicious that he his target was melanated people? Like, wouldn't racism
Well,
would be
his
implemented to his
his
thoughts.
well his
Sometimes the reason is
original
just stupid. It's simple.
well his original target was white kids. He was planning on shooting up his own school.
Mhm.
And what a person like this is that he brainwashed himself by watching all types of videos about this great replacement theory. And was there a level of racism involved? Sure, why not? But with this kid, I think this kid was not on the level of a Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber. This kid was a deranged individual that did a rampage shooting, and any monkey can do that. So there was a level to it. It
Right.
wasn't, yeah. To me, it just wasn't as complex as like the Unabomber or something.
Hmm.
It's like
know,
Pinky and the Brain. That kid was Pinky. Ted Kaczynski, he's the brain.
yeah. Ted Kaczynski's a more different, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But-
I mean that because most people are saying like this was racially motivated, blah blah blah, and so and so. I mean, I believe the kid's probably an agent, and they paid him to do that, and they want to start up a race war so that they can implement the martial law system within the United States.
Oh,
I
by
don't
the
think
way,
so,
guys, I
man.
just looked up Ted Kaczynski's IQ. I said 180. It's 167.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I knew.
So I got a question for you, Rush, and I find this interesting too. Well, were y'all aware of that in my city, Dallas, Texas, right? Do y'all aware of that there was another shooting that took place, mass shooting?
No, I'm just finding out now.
Yeah, we actually had a mass shooting in Dallas, Texas. All right, they are saying, quote unquote, that it was racially motivated as well too. What happened was,
Do you think that's a coincidence?
to be honest, I don't know, but
Come on, man.
they
They trying to get us riled up,
no,
man. But go ahead.
listen, but listen, Rush.
Mhm.
The perpetrator who did this was a black man, and he went into an Asian community at an Asian nail shop and just shot up the one nail shop.
Yeah, that could start up a race war too. Now the Asians gonna be they already been looking at niggas crazy, but now they're gonna be like, yo, they shooting us up now. So now we got to defend ourselves from them.
It happened in the
That-
riots.
But
92.
Yeah.
the point I'm making, Rush, that do y'all find it odd that they focusing more on this coverage what happened in Buffalo than what happened in Dallas?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, anything dealing with black victims it does great for the ratings. When whites are killed,
It's an
I mean,
opportunistic time to jump in and put in your narrative.
yeah,
When it
whites
could've
are
just been
killed at
something
higher
simple as,
rates.
I just didn't like the guy.
Yeah, whites
Or
are
I just don't
killed
like
at
killing
higher.
people.
Yeah, whites are killed at higher rates by police, by other racial groups, and it doesn't really sell in the news. Whereas when blacks are killed, they've sold the narrative of racism so much in this country that CNN's ratings probably increased by 50% when it's a black victim or a black perpetrator in that situation. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we should factor that into for ratings. That's why they focus on that mass shooting with the kid, the white boy that shut up the supermarket that's filled with melanated people. Because the ratings will go up, they'll spike up.
Yeah, I mean, but no, I don't believe that this is I think that kid was just deranged, and generally whites are very good people. I mean, they're pleasant, and that one kid doesn't represent all the whites at all, in my opinion.
Or the government could have paid him to do that. Who knows? But yeah, I'm you guys probably think that this guy is reaching, man, but hey, man.
No,
Now
I
we
mean
gotta
it's plausible to believe that the government probably paid him. I mean, anything is possible. I mean, the only thing that is factual within a universe is mathematics. So your idea, your perspective could be just as right as mine. I mean, who knows? I mean, he could be a paid agent, you know.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Yep, could be a paid agent, could be a product of Project MK Ultra, all kind of stuff.
But why
Okay,
would you choose, if you're the government, why would you choose him? That's what I always think of when you want to think that deep about shit.
because it's believable, you know. Frustrated kid that's racist, decides to drive two hours away from his neighborhood and go to a black community and kill black people. It's a believable thing. People will eat that up, and if they'll feel some type of way towards the white community. But just like what chaotic truth says, man, there's some bad apples of white people, but majority of the time they're really nice. Like they really help you out sometimes, and I agree with CT on that.
Now, I was reading a study. I don't know how accurate this is, but I found it interesting. They were saying that it's easier to hypnotize a person when they have a lower state of reality, meaning that if they live in this false fantasy reality, like this kid probably was living this reality or Call of Duty, then it's easier for them to hypnotize that child into doing these devious type of behaviors.
Yeah, because some people you can't even hypnotize. You can't put them under.
Now you're saying this because of you believe that he was put under MK Ultra.
I mean, it's plausible.
Yeah, that's possible too. Yeah.
But to me, it's like, okay, first of all, you pick this guy, right? Kind of schmucky, but then you have to take time and effort to like instill all this shit in him to get to that point. And you don't even know if it's going to go that way. I don't know. It just seems like a lot of work for something that probably wouldn't pay off half the time. It'd be a coin flip.
You'd be surprised how precise
Well, you get
the
better
powers
at it
that
over
be.
time.
Yeah. They trust me. They'll put in that work, man. Time and effort. They'll do it, man.
I mean, they could, and I'm just theorizing, okay? But we can look at it like this, right? This kid was known for being a gamer, right? He was playing Call of Duty and all these other type of war games, right? So his programming could have happened while he was playing the game. He could have got in contact with people in the chat that he's talking to while playing the game. With Call of Duty, you could talk to anyone in the world, including FBI agents and all kinds of people. You know what I'm saying? So that training, it could be possible. He was talking to him the whole time, and they put in there subtle messages within this ear, within this his psyche and everything, and he keep hearing it over and over again, these subtle messages while spending 12 hours gaming. Then eventually that light bulb hit, like, oh, I need to create a manifesto.
Yeah.
I swear there was a study. I have to look this up right now, but I think there's a study that says that no, video games, they don't really affect the mind like that.
Really?
Yeah, because remember, like when Mortal Kombat was a big deal when it came out.
Yeah, I remember that. And as a kid, seeing that game, that game was. I mean, looking at it now, it's not. You don't think it's graphic, but at that time, as a child, when your prefrontal cortex is not fully developed, you would think that's pretty gruesome. Playing that game.
I guess we can argue this point too, right? If you got to think about this. There were no video games during the First War and the Second World War. There were no video games during the Civil War. There were no video games during all of the great wars in history, all of the great atrocities that ever occurred. And these people and our ancient ancestors that were African, that were white, they were absolutely primitive and they were absolutely violent. So we live in a more peaceful environment now, especially if you live in America. It's relatively peaceful. So I have to agree with Gabe. I don't think video games do make you violent. I really believe that it's just
wait a minute. So you don't think video games could somewhat
no, because why is it more peaceful? Because we live in more peace. It's more peaceful now than it's ever been in human history. And so what I'm saying is that if video games, I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, is it plausible? Yeah, of course. Is it plausible that music makes you violent? Sure, but our ancient ancestors were violent as shit, and they didn't have any video games or movies to watch. So maybe Gabe is on to something with this.
Okay, I could probably see why you feel that way with
Yeah, I
that.
mean, think about this: the death toll for
But,
World War
hold on.
II.
But don't you think playing those games somewhat desensitized the individual
Yeah, I
as
mean,
using people as targets?
yeah, I mean, listen, is it possible? Is it plausible? Sure, why not, Rush? I mean, yeah, it probably does desensitize.
Yeah, because
But
you're playing these
yeah,
games day in and day out. So I mean,
but I got
when
a
your
question.
brain, yeah, go ahead.
There were 50 million people that were killed during World War II. Just think about that for a minute. 50 million. I think they said that the real population had shrank by, a few percentage points because of that. So, and just think about the Civil War, think about all the wars in other countries. It's more civilized now than it's ever been. And we didn't have, and like again, they didn't have these things. So why were they so violent back then?
Um,
See, you
yeah,
can
I mean that's a good that's a good question. That's a real good question. But
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, yeah.
the thing about it is that they're still are violent. That was violent back then, and we're technically still violent now. But the one the difference of the two is that we just became more. Well, I guess we evolved more
We're evolved,
since
but we're
they're.
still animals when you break it down to the bare core. We're all still
Mhm.
animals.
I, yeah, I
So
mean, I
even if we
wouldn't.
look at the theory about the what happened with the world wars and different things like that, just like what Rush was saying, that people were still desensitized about what was going on, and it's technically they're looking at a real live version of Call of Duty, but back in that time, the children and all. So even as they're growing up into adults, that is still that image is still planted into their memory. So they now have a certain type of perception about the reality that they're living.
I mean, I could see that too. Yo, what up, HB2M? Man, salute to you, Kang.
Salute, man. Can you hear me?
you're a little bit
A little
low.
low there. Yeah.
Hold on. I'm gonna come back in. I'm gonna come back
All
in.
right. But yeah, I mean, like I said, Gabe, in my opinion, is probably on to something. Um, but I mean, yeah, Rush, you're right. I mean, does video games or do video games desensitize you? Sure, I guess. I mean, I guess watching Rambo would desensitize you too. But I do.
See, but the thing is, you're not watching Rambo day in and day out. You watch it for one time. That's it. But like in a video game, you're constantly viewing people as targets as you're playing this game day in and day out. It's somewhat you're being conditioned to look people as targets when you have a firearm. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's the end all be all, but I'm saying we got to factor that in too. It's a possibility. The percentage wise, yeah, it might be 25%.
See, to me, this is what shuts it down for me. Okay, I've played just about every Mario Brothers game there is. I've never had the urge to stomp on a turtle.
Me neither. Yeah.
Okay, I see your point. I see
like
your
a
point.
younger family member.
I see your point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hey, so
I
wait.
think right now,
My bad.
because right now we're quote unquote a civilized society, but when it comes to online, because dude, the internet's rather new if you think about it. It's less than 50 years where it's been like mainstream from 2000 on, I would say. That's when
Yeah,
people
about
really
20,
started getting.
about 20 years,
Gabe,
over 20 years.
Look how we
Gabe,
treat each other online.
Gabe, you used the most cuddliest example ever. Who would want to stomp on a turtle? Who would want to do that?
A sick bastard.
That's it.
Because I was programmed to do it from Mario Brothers. That would be
Okay, I
the
see your point. Yeah, I see
argument
your
there.
point. Yeah.
We there is a lot of programming going on though. Like I honestly think the need and want to like conquer women, that's a programming. A lot of people think it's natural, but I don't think it's something natural. I think when we necessarily want to conquer a woman. We just want to, be friends with them, know people. I think the whole conquering thing comes from the people that have already conquered this world, the elites. They've conquered it, so this is the type of energy that they're putting out there. They make every guy think that they have to be some type of conqueror, and that you're not worthy if you can't conquer some, Gucci.
Kind of
Peer
breaking up.
pressure goes a
Yeah.
long way.
Yeah, it is, and I think even with that mass shooter, of course the media is gonna make it seem racially motivated, but in reality, he just wasn't getting coochie, and he was angry about not being able to get coochie, and
So,
mean it's
are you insinuating that the shooter is an incel?
saying that he's an incel. I'm just saying that
He could just
he
be a
put
regular
too much.
dumbass.
Yeah, he's just a loser, and it's not that there's anything even wrong with being a loser. It's just that he felt he was a loser, and this is the only way that he was able to express himself was by doing that. And it's sad. It's really pathetic if you really think about it. Like, he threw his whole life away over some ideologies, some some weirdo made up in like the 1700s. It's crazy.
I don't think it's a conspiracy at all. I think it's just the media sees it and goes, here's how we want to spin this for this.
Exactly.
We want to take advantage of this situation.
Exactly. Yeah. It's but yeah, for the original topic, I wanted to cam up earlier. I just got kind of busy with work and stuff. But is jealousy a female trait? I don't think it's necessarily a female or a male trait. I just think it's a weak-minded person's trait. Being
Okay.
jealous,
Yeah, because you know the saying that not even the saying, but a famous line from Jay. He would say that jealousy is a female's trait, and the amount of influence Jay-Z has on the on men, is he's pretty influential. So a lot of dudes that come up from our era will assume that jealousy is a female trait.
Yeah, but I think Jay-Z is a weirdo. I don't. When we were younger, I looked up to Jay-Z, but now as an adult, I just see how much of a weirdo he really is. He becomes weird every year, and that whole him being a boss thing, it's all a facade. He's not a boss. He's always been signed to somebody.
He's a nerd. He's a nerd deep down.
He's a nerd. He's a nerd.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. He's not just an artist, but he is a businessman. You do know he owned a percentage of Rockefeller. Matter of fact, he invested some of his money into it in order for Dame and Kareem Biggs to launch Rockefeller independently.
I get it, but real bosses, they make other people bosses.
That's a righteous king you're talking about, and I agree with you. You should move like that, but
Jay-Z's,
it was business.
I saw where
it was business. That's I mean,
most people that are on top of like corporations, like CEOs and things like that, COOs, they're more likely to be sociopaths or psychopaths because they don't care. They'll take over other businesses.
I wouldn't. We can't just say they're psychopaths, but I do understand. I do feel you on that. They would probably hold some of the characteristics of a sociopath or a psychopath because you somewhat have to be a grimy individual in order to win. To accomplish certain things in life, and I do agree with you on that, Gabe.
Like,
you're right.
You don't have to murder anyone to be a sociopath.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're just rob you blind and not care about
CEOs, it. They'll portray themselves as some bosses, but they're still beholden to the shareholders. They still have to. Even the CEOs, they have bosses. And that's the thing with Jay.
Well, you're right to a certain extent. Like if a franchise is publicly belongs to the public. A CEO, yes, they do technically have to bow down to the board because it's not just one decision maker, but it's a collective and they vote on it. Yes, you're right. But if it's a private company and it's not publicly owned, then no, the CEO is the man. He runs shit, you know. But you're
Different
right though,
thoughts.
HB2N. You're right about that. Just wanted to explain the details of that. You know what I mean?
I
Hey,
definitely,
Jimmy.
I definitely.
Hey,
feel you,
Jimmy,
though.
real quick, I'm gonna have to step down. Y'all get ready. Have a live starting about 15 minutes.
Yo. Thank you for coming through, Urban Therapist, man.
Oh, what you say,
Over there,
Callie?
Urban.
Yeah, what's your live gonna be out? Because I'm probably gonna come through. What's it gonna be about?
I'm gonna talk about teaching your church about the importance of self-acceptance.
Oh, okay. All right.
There's
Yo,
always a
thanks for
lesson
coming through,
from Urban's
Urban,
side.
man. Yo, salute to you, man. Stay gay. It's
Stay
always good to
gay.
have you up here. Yo, I'm gonna be up here tomorrow morning too, so come true. You heard?
All
All
right.
right, for sure. Yeah, I appreciate it. I appreciate y'all as well too. Good conversation.
Yo,
I'll see
word
you,
out.
Urban. I have a quick question. Does HB2N stand for anything?
Yeah, Hebrews to Negroes.
Oh, okay.
Negro, yeah. I'm not, I'm not I'm not one of those Hebrew
Israelites.
Israelite brothers.
Yeah.
I just try to move in.
I avoid them at all costs.
Yeah. I'm not one of those brothers. I just try to
That's
move in
not
that.
true. You're lying right now, CT. You know I'm an Israelite. You know that, right?
No, I'm
I was
talking
gonna
about
say,
the
I thought you
ones.
were.
I'm talking about the ones that are on the street corner in like those costumes.
No.
Russ, you're not like one of those, are you?
Nah.
Okay, I kind of figured you weren't. Yeah, good. I avoid those types of Negroes. Yeah.
I'm just somebody that I try to study the 66 books of the Bible and just try to live
Righteously?
righteously. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. That's it. It's just the name though. But yeah.
Yeah, holding on to the commandments and following those instructions. That's how you display your love for Yah. I respect that. Salute to you. I mean,
And it's I think really especially with a lot of these celebrities, it's almost impossible for them to be righteous people. And that's why they push a lot of these agendas where they make you feel like you're not good enough just for being like a regular person. But
right.
you're way more in control and a better person than they'll ever be. I made a status earlier on my community tab that the difference between a rapper and a guy that works a 9 to 5 is that a 9 to 5er can always quit their job. A rapper, he took a blood oath. He's never getting out of there. He's not getting out of it alive.
Right. I mean, I don't think people understand that whole mechanics of that. Not everybody is into
They don't.
knowing
That's
about
why.
certain rituals and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
That's
So-
why the rappers, they shame men who are, regular guys so much. They shame the working man so much. It's because
Right. And even very attractive women and unattractive women tend to divest from the working man. They don't think dealing with a normal man is a good thing to do. So they divest themselves from it and hope to reach a certain quality of man, like
Right.
the top 20%ers. You know what I mean?
every woman is like that. And I think there are a lot of demonic women that's all they think about, is how much, man brings to the table. But I don't think every woman is like that. I do think there are women out there that are just looking for men that stand on
I think you're
principles and
optimistic,
beliefs.
but yeah.
No, I've seen it. I've met some women. I don't think, I think there are a lot of women that it's not just about money for them. They do want to find a man that is actually a man of God and has standards and beliefs. The problem is,
It's
a
just
lot of
according
guys.
to their own movie in their head that they want to direct and produce themselves. and film themselves,
Right.
story by
Well,
themselves.
like I do agree with HB2N. There is probably a percentage of women that tend to gravitate towards the normal guy and respect it, and there is probably a percentage of women that do seek out the average dude, but for how the media projects it, it's always promoting to the ball player, the scammers, and so on, that's why I feel like people, most women are conditioned to seek that type of male archetype,
Because it's more exciting too.
yeah, it's and yeah, and that's the main thing they always speak about. Like the average guy or the nice guy is boring, so they're not stimulated mentally or physically with this average guy, but they know that average guy, that good guy, is a safe haven.
It's just that average guy isn't the average guy in their mind of what they want.
Right.
I think that partly though, there's like a difference between being like a nice guy and an average guy too. And I like, to me, I don't think, I really don't think there's, like, you say average, but I don't really think there's a lot of guys out here who do just stand on their principles and morals no matter what, who are willing to just up and leave a woman, if she's not ready to be on his level. So I think there's a lot of guys who portray themselves as nice guys or average guys, but really they just simping, like they're simping towards women. So
Yeah, I agree on that. Are you saying that there's
but
layers? There's
yeah,
layers to.
there's layers to it, because these rappers are just the same. They're bigger simps than the average guy. That's why I don't look down upon the average guy anymore. I think it's just, we're so conditioned to look down on a bus driver or whatever. But if he's standing on his beliefs and morals, and he's not, simping for some woman, I think he's on a higher plateau than a guy like Future, who's spending $1 million on some, some whore. Like this guy Future just throwing bread at these random chicks and
They
stuff.
don't make
And
you a
it's,
bad person.
Now,
yeah,
if Future was like not a famous rapper, do you believe that he would be bagging half the chicks he's bagging now? If he
nope,
was just
nope. And that's 99% of the reason why a lot of these guys strive to be rappers and strive to be ball players and stuff.
just to get laid?
And it's
No,
like,
no.
what
Now,
type of
don't you think there's like an imbalance on bagging? Like, how can I explain this? Like, I think it's there's an imbalance. It's like you have to have so much in order to date the average female. If
that's
this makes any
that
kind of sense.
that's what we're programmed to believe. But in reality, like, I don't know about you, but I went to college. When I was in college, that's when I got the most coochie. Is because I didn't have anything. I didn't have a dime to my name when I was in college. But that's when I was knocking them down every single day. So it's like they make it seem, rest in peace to Kevin Samuels, but people like that made it seem like, oh, you have to have this and that to be able to get a woman. But in reality, you just got to be a man first. That's it.
But I think college. I mean, yes, it's an environment where people mate. It's just what it's. I'm not saying it's designed to be like that, but you tend to hear the groupie stories when niggas go to college. But I'm talking about in the realm of real world where you got to pay real bills. Um,
Oh,
don't
even
you
then
think
though,
there is a certain incentive where a female seeks a guy
only
that makes a certain dollar amount just because he's able to provide a certain lifestyle for that female? For
only
example,
only
for
broken women are looking for that type of man.
oh, okay, expound on that. What makes the female broken?
Because she thinks that she's gonna find happiness in carnality, into the, the physical realm, when in reality, like, there's nothing more happy than a woman being, just being with a man. Like all that money and stuff, you could lose it the next day. Even look at somebody like Jeff Bezos. The dude damn near gave up $500 million to his wife in a divorce. You
Yeah,
know, like
that shit is crazy.
it does. The money doesn't make you a man. It doesn't. It's your principles and your morality and being a
I,
man.
I, I
What
I
he
think
did.
I do agree with you on that HB2N, but you're right about that. What makes a man is his core principles, and that his word is his bond. But
Hmm.
this new wave of this generation of females, they don't look for those type of qualities in a man no more. You know?
Of them.
Wouldn't you
Not.
agree?
No, no, no. I agree. There's a lot of them that don't, but I do believe that a lot of these women are looking for, they're looking for something. They are looking for that type of man now because it is so rare now. Like, just think about how many dudes are just willing to pay for coochie, or how many dudes are willing to just take a chick out on a date just to be around her. There's so.
I think it that going back to earlier what we was talking about nurture versus nature, because women, they tend to with their bad behavior, they're always receiving positive reinforcement from society, the justice system, and the simps, and this is why
Yep.
they have such an ugly, arrogant attitude towards life, period. And I think that creates a monster to a certain degree. Or what y'all think?
Agree, but the guy that just sits there and ignores her, he's the king. He's the one that has all the power at that point.
But that style of bagging chicks doesn't work for every man.
And I think that's really the main thing too, is that guys, men in general, our lives have to be more than just about bagging females. Like
Right,
the
right. I,
more.
I agree with you on that. I
Yeah.
think there's more to life other than, copulating with an attractive female. Like nature,
Especially when you.
traveling,
Yeah, exactly.
learning new things from different cultures,
Especially when you've done it already. You know what I mean? Like, it's like once you've bagged a couple hot chicks, it's like, okay, what else is there
Yeah,
to
what
what
else is there to do other
yeah,
than,
yeah.
yeah.
And it's like,
I,
and I think a lot of guys don't.
You're breaking up, bro.
Woman, it's just about busting, you. It has nothing to do with and really
I don't know. It's
to
breaking up for me.
conquer
Do
them.
you guys hear it?
Oh, my bad. Can you guys hear me?
We missed
yeah, I
that
think
whole thing.
yeah. Repeat the whole thing because we didn't hear it.
Hold on.
Well, I'll say this quickly. Here's one thing guys do. We'll always tell about like our conquers or our wins, but we never mentioned how much we lost to get there.
Right. We make it seem like, yo, it's a flawless
overnight or
victory.
something.
Right.
No.
Rappers, they do the similar thing too. Like, they speak on how much of fights they won, how much drugs they sold, but they never really expound on the losses that take place.
Right.
Like
Look
like
at somebody like Lil Durk. He done lost like 50 of his friends. You think it's worth it to have all that money, but all your friends are dead?
yeah,
I
it's
don't know,
definitely not
man.
worth it. Yeah,
I don't think it's worth
hell
it.
no.
But I
No,
was
it's
just
not.
saying that most guys, we're just addicted to the sex and the conquering of the women. We don't really even like the woman themselves, and I think that's the major problem with a lot of guys, that they're just addicted to the sex. They're not addicted to the
Yeah, because
they
they're in a subservient position towards their lust. Like their lust drives them to do the things that they do now. Which is more of a animal like type likeness. If you catch my drift.
Yeah, it's years and years of whatchamacallit? It's just instinct
know.
over time.
It's like an uncontrollable hunger for sex, man. You know.
Also programmed though. It's programmed in the movies that we watch, the music that we listen to, the TV shows, the ads that they post. Everything is about
Sex,
conquering
sex, sex,
a woman.
sex.
Sex,
Yeah,
sex. Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Everything's about being with the woman. It's not about growing as a man or, you know, maybe even
Cause
abstaining
think
from
about
it.
it, like what, and I totally agree with you saying. Like, um, everything is being promoted about sex, and even on a subconscious level, like your subconscious is picking up on that message. So even when you're not fully thinking about sex, deep down in your subconscious, you're thinking about sex. If that makes any type of sense.
It's like we were born addicted to heroin. You know, when like a pregnant woman does heroin and then the baby's addicted to it. That's kind of like how we are with pussy. We
Yeah.
just naturally want it. And then, you know, when we see all this stuff on TV and things like that saying, oh yeah, this is the thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you're going to do it more.
I think genetically we're driven to procreate, but we have to factor in with media. I think it conditions men to have a unhealthy sexual appetite. I mean,
There you go. That's well said. I like that.
Says the guys who don't get it, they feel like they're not good enough. They feel that they're nothing, and that's what drives the
and
mass,
yo, you know
mass
what's
shooter. That's
you
what
know what's
drives them.
crazy? HB, I like that you brought that up. Because it's like society is really harsh on a man that's not getting, you know what I mean? Not getting play from a female. He's actually scrutinized because he's not getting it.
Make you feel like you're a weirdo or you're gay if you're not chasing coochie all day. Or you're not even if you're not chasing it, but if you're not getting it, like, oh, there's something wrong with you. You must be an incel or something.
Right,
And
There's
right.
guys that are just too afraid to try because they don't want to fall on their face.
Yeah, that's the big thing too. Guys have been conditioned so much to get it that when they try and they get rejected, it makes them feel less about themselves, when really, like, man, women give it away. They're giving it away. But when a woman realizes that there's some simps out here that'll pay for it, you know what I mean? Can you really blame the woman? Can you really blame a OnlyFans model
Nah,
for taking advantage of it? You can't really
nah.
blame them. Or can you even blame a escort or a hooker if some married guy wants to pay her for an hour? You can't really blame the women for that,
No.
and it's not their fault. It's the
So really
guy's
cuts
fault.
out a lot of the red tape. It's straight to the
Right.
point. You're going to spend money on women anyway.
If you do sucker shit, you're gonna get sucker shit results. That right there is sucker shit, you know? Like subscribe to OnlyFans, man. Like that's some sucker shit, man. I don't know
Yeah,
how
not
they do
necessarily.
that.
Not necessarily, my friend.
Why is that? Why? Okay, if a guy subscribes to a OnlyFans, why don't you think he's a sucker? Expound on that. Enlighten me, please, Gabe. Please teach me something right now.
Maybe that's just their thing. Maybe in that world, they know what they're doing. I don't know. I've gotten a few cam girls. It's
Yeah,
you know, some of it's
Yeah.
you know, a lot of it's luck, a lot of it's timing. And
okay.
there's game to
alright.
it, of course. There's still game to it.
I don't.
All right.
But I think that's more straightforward because you know that she wants your money, and you know what you want. So I mean, you already know what. There's already like a deal, kind of already unsaid.
Okay, let me ask you something. Now, when you subscribe to this individual, right? Do you feel like you have a personal, emotional connection with this individual? Is that
Oh.
what you're paying for?
That's the pretend part.
Mm.
See, now you have to understand that. See, if you go into that understanding that, you'll be fine.
I
There's
just
guys
I
don't
just
know.
think there's more to life than sex, man. And I think women, there's a lot more beauty in women than just having sex with them. I really do believe they have a lot more to offer, and it's just that our society just sexualizes them. So they don't even really get to tap into their feminine energy because they're always trying to be sexual instead. And there's a
Not
difference
only
between
sexual, but
femininity.
some adopt the masculine traits too,
I was
man.
gonna say they're trying to be us.
Yeah, that's where that to me, when women are trying to be, there's a difference between being feminine and being sexual. And I think when women are sexual, they're trying to attract masculinity. That's their version of being masculine. It's like a dope dealer, man. They're trying to sell that sexuality. They're trying to sell it to you. And the problem is guys are paying top dollar for it right now.
Now, well, let me ask you a question, HB2N. Do you think a dude is a sucker if he subscribes to a OnlyFans account?
Yeah, I think I not only do I think he's a sucker, I just don't think he values himself, his time, his money, his essence. I don't think he looks at himself in a positive light if he thinks that he has to pay for something that God put on this earth for us for free.
See, I think you're right on that, but there's a flip to that too. It's also the same way the other way around. Because let's say you're a rich dude, you're always going to have people around you wanting shit.
That's true. But if you're a rich guy, only you can spend the money on people. Just because you have money, like I have some some of my rich friends, they don't spend anything, man. It's almost comical how they really don't like to spend money.
They're pretty frugal, yeah.
Yeah, they're extremely frugal, and it's because
that's why they're rich.
Exactly. They value themselves over everything. They, if they go to the bar, they're not trying to tip that much. They, what I mean, like, oh, just really frugal behavior. But that's why they're in the position that they're in, because they value themselves over anything. And I think when you spend money on a woman's sexuality, you're devaluing yourself, and it doesn't really, you just kind of got to look at it for what it is. It's not really gaining you anything.
I still think there's a flip to it where it's like, I think there's situations where you're protecting yourself.
How is that?
Because it's already a set deal. You already know what the deal is. There's no extra shit.
I get it, but I just think you have more to offer than just your sexuality, man. And just banging out a
sword, yeah. You just gotta, what works for you works for you.
Yeah, but I think just for any guy, I just really think it starts from within with a lot of men. And there's so many forces working against us, man. Like, if you really think about it, OnlyFans it was created by a guy. Like, it's all a bunch of really rich guys making not so rich guys feel less than, and they use women to do it too. It's really a mind fuck, man, when you really sit back and look at this stuff.
I mean, personally, and no offense to Gabe, I say gang all day, and I understand why you do it. I respect it. And plus, you've had women in the past, so it's not like this is the only access you have towards women. Like, you can get the real thing if you wanted to.
Because I have shit to lose too,
Yeah. So my thing is, like, I believe it's sucker shit when it's a guy that uses it because he has no access to the real life thing,
No, I think that's the thing. I think guys they use it because it's a lot easier to live inside the metaverse. The metaverse is a place where there is no rejection. You don't get rejected.
Right.
This is why that shooter, he live streamed it on Twitter or on Twitch. He's a metaverse kid, He never really got out into the real world and explored his real options.
Right. And when we was growing up, HB2N, man, the only way we would get a chick and get laid, we have to speak to them in person.
Gotta talk to him.
So you had to develop some type of charisma in order to be able to have the momentum of attracting the opposite sex.
The only way to get there is falling on your face.
Exactly.
You have
You
to
gotta
lose.
Yeah,
fall
you
on your
go
face.
through trials and tribulations, and then
Yeah, but you
finally you
can't.
figure it out. And you know what I mean, you go on a good run. Know what I mean,
But the reality is you can't be afraid of rejection, and you can't use as an excuse.
see the
Exactly.
era we from, we are conditioned to deal with rejection. That's a part of life. Period. Know what I
Man,
mean,
that's the best part of life, man. Because honestly, the women that do reject you, you don't really want them anyway, man. That's the beauty of it.
yeah,
If
because it's a
you if you
sport.
being
It's a
yourself,
sport
and that's the thing
cause.
too. I think a lot of men, they're just scared to be themselves. They're scared to open up to women and show who they really are. They want to put these facades. You got you got all these actors that make it seem like you got to be Brad Pitt. So guys are emulating other men and wondering why they're getting rejected. It's because you're not being yourself. Don't be afraid to tell some girl that you're into science fiction novels. Don't
Cause
be
she
afraid
might
to
be into that
tell.
shit too. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And y'all,
Don't be afraid to.
and when y'all converse, nigga, it's like it's not a force of habit, my nigga. You know what I mean? You're not
Exactly. You're
the
not trying to
conversation's
impress
not
her.
struggling.
Trust me.
It's an organic thing, and you
Right.
vibe.
And
Yeah,
women, I'm telling you, women, they're every chance they get, they're gonna try to, everything is a shit test, like everything in life is a shit test. They're gonna shit test you. You tell a girl that you like watching anime, she's gonna try to shit test you and make you feel less than. But
right,
a real
right.
man is gonna say, well, what do you like watching? You know what I mean? Oh, you watch the Kardashians? Oh, that's better? Okay. Like, all right,
Really.
whatever.
Nah, yo, it's funny you say that because it's like, yo, a lot of these anime films, man, they be dropping like some words of wisdoms, man.
Yeah,
I be
yeah.
like, damn, that's some real shit. You
Yeah,
know what I
man.
mean?
I just think that's the main thing. Us as men, we gotta tap more into the manly stuff. Like, just be you. Like, there's nothing.
But you know what, yo,
Be
this
yourself
is why.
righteously. Don't do it because you think that's what you're supposed to be. Do it because that's
That's who you are.
to you. Yeah, to you,
Yeah,
you know what
yeah,
you're doing. Yeah.
yeah. But I
Yeah,
think
this
that's.
is.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go
Go
ahead,
ahead.
HB. My bad. Go ahead. No, go
No,
ahead.
no,
Go ahead.
no. But it's just there's just a lot of there's a lot of things at play that are forcing men to believe that they're supposed to be a certain way or they're supposed to act a certain way. And in reality, if you're just being yourself, being natural, not worrying about rejection, not caring about how the world perceives you, doing what you just being you, wear what you want to wear because you like to wear it. Like I like me personally, like I like wearing, business casual type wear, not because somebody told me to. It's just because that's where I feel comfortable wearing.
And you're doing it righteously.
Yeah. I'm not trying to attract anybody. I just feel when I look in the mirror and I see my stuff is all creased up and looking nice. That's how I feel good about myself. And I think that's really what men got to get to. Find the joy in your life. What makes, you're not always going to be happy, but you can find joy. There's things that men just like to do. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
I'm
like yo, my thing
I'm
is right when I come home from work, I lay down. I got Chinese food and I watch the Ninja Turtles, man. Not the new school joint, but the old school joint, and I find joy from doing that, nigga.
yeah, yo,
And you're doing it righteously.
that's what life is about, man. Find your joy and work towards keeping that joy, man, whatever that is. And if a woman, if a woman comes along and she wants to be a part of that, that's a blessing on her because she found a man that's righteous. But most of these girls, you know what I mean, they for the streets, man. And
Yeah, and they're not attracted to righteous men, you know.
yeah,
They're actually attracted to unrighteous men, you know.
a lot of that is just a lot of these Western women, man. They're not attracted to it because they've been broken. Their whole philosophies and lives have been shattered by the media. It's not like
Now,
that
now,
all
now,
over the whole world, man.
I got a question for you, HB2N, because you hitting everything the nail on the coffin, my nigga. Like, yo, do you think the leftist feminist movement destroyed the psyche of the
Women,
female, causing her
yeah,
to be broken,
big time, big time.
and
I think,
and leads them and lead them to think that the only way of happiness is accomplishing certain goals and receiving or achieving a certain tax bracket.
yeah, I think so. I think it's pretty much shattered a lot of women's reality on what you know what happiness is. Like, it's so hard for me to meet a woman that isn't on some type of antidepressant, because most of them, they have to take these medicines and drink wine every night and smoke weed every day because they're not happy. They're not happy at all.
Now, the reason, okay, is you saying some real shit right now. I might get flagged for saying this shit, but I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say this shit anyway. Like, yo, do you think that, okay, women that because mad women is on some crazy meds, my nigga, like,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to factor in that I think a lot of that stems from because they want to emulate the style or attribute of a man. They take on the responsibility and the pressure of a man. Do you think that's why women are gravitated towards the medicine because of
Yeah,
this?
yeah,
I
yeah.
think they,
I
they,
think
they,
so too. I think so too.
they had a taste of what it's like to be a man, and they just are not built
They
for
can't
it.
handle it. Yeah,
Yeah,
they
it's
can't
tough.
handle it.
It's tough. And I think what makes it really tough is that they're doing it alone. I think if they actually had a man there to help counsel them, to help get them through these tough times,
Yo, you said the key word, counsel them.
Yep.
counsel.
Yeah, I mean,
That's it.
because
That's all they need.
yeah,
I'm not one of those guys that's sitting here gonna tell a woman, if a woman wants to go be a neurosurgeon, sweetheart, please go be a neurosurgeon. I'm not about to sit here and tell a woman don't go after the bag. That's hating. What I'm saying is, don't do it to spite a man. Don't do it and think
yeah.
that you're
You
don't
gotta
do it.
naturally want it. Yeah, don't
Yeah.
do it by force of habit, my nigga.
And don't
I
do it
agree
and
with you
then
on
think
that.
that and don't do it and think that you're better than a man, because you're not. Just because you're in a higher tax bracket doesn't mean that you're better than a guy that's making $50K a year. He might be mentally, what I mean, he might be a happy
Mentally
person.
sound. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You're making a lot more money, but you're depressed all the time. You got to go to him just to feel happy. But a lot of these women, they're so jaded because they thought that they needed a specific type of man. They thought they needed a specific type of man in a certain type of tax bracket. So they got to go to these substances. They got to drink all the time. They got to smoke all the time. Take these mental pills and stuff. And it's like,
Word.
you can fool yourself, but you can't fool me, man. I'm not like I'm somebody that smoked a lot. I drank a lot. And I don't do any of that stuff anymore. And it's
Well,
because
let me ask you this: do you think there's hope for the broken female? Can she
there's
get?
always, man, listen, there's hope for everybody, man. I don't think anybody's too far gone until you're dead. I think there's hope for
Okay, so
anybody.
you're not a believer of being too far gone to be
Nah. I
revert
just
back
think that
to your normal self.
I just think with anything, it takes a village, man. You're gonna need counsel. You're gonna need
You saying some key words right now. Yeah, it do take a village to raise a child, man. You're right, man.
it takes a village
Yo,
to raise a woman too, man.
facts, man.
It
Facts.
does. No, I
Yo,
don't
you
think
spitting, you cooking right now, my nigga. Word of
just
my
think-
mess.
There
You
are
cooking
cases
right
where
now.
mental illness is real. Like, I'm
It is
bipolar.
real. It is
Like,
real.
if I don't take my meds for like a month, I'll feel it. Like, my mind will just be on on 10 all the time, and there's no
Mental
slowing
illness-
down.
It's real. It's real. But I think a lot of it is man, you got to really look at the big picture with these mental illnesses too. There are pharmaceutical companies that are making millions, billions even. Like, what blows my mind, I know this chick she works for a pharmaceutical company, right? But she works in marketing at a
Oh, so she's a
pharmaceutical
consultant.
company.
I know a chick that does that kind of job too.
It's like
She
it's
makes bank, my nigga. Yeah, but
She
go
makes
ahead.
bank. It's wild to even think about that. A pharmaceutical company needs marketing, but it's because it's a product and they're selling it, and they have to sell the idea of the mental illness to sell the drug. So it's a whole industry of
That makes
making
money
sure
off
you
that.
stay
Yeah,
hooked on a drug
right.
that you potentially might not listen. I don't remember back in the biblical times, Jesus talking about him being depressed or dealing with all this stuff. And I'm not saying that these things aren't real, because your feelings are real, but I think it definitely stems from a lot of programming. There's a lot of things in the media that are telling men that you're not good enough the way that you are, and that's part
Right.
of the mental illness, man.
Let me factor this into, um, we're forced to move in a unnatural state, man. And what I mean by that, it's like, um, we're being conditioned to not be stimulated with one woman. But some dudes might disagree with me because they believe in polygamy. You know what I mean? But that's a different topic. But like, we're conditioned to move in an unnatural state. For example, they're trying to demasculate men. Anytime you're very masculine, this is why they say there's a war on masculinity, because anytime you do something masculine, and that's what men do, they will consider that toxic masculinity. Know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I will say there is a lot of toxic masculinity too, man. I think what becomes toxic is when men feel
The
that
fake alphas is what makes it toxic.
yeah, the fake alphas, the guys that think
Okay,
that
that makes sense. That makes
yeah,
sense.
Guys
Yeah.
always have to say they have money every chance they get, or how many
right,
women they have.
right, or the guys that are trying to flash all the stuff that they have to
Yeah,
get a
sucker
woman.
shit. Yeah,
Yeah,
sucker shit.
there
Yeah.
is a lot of toxic masculinity. Like, I don't think that that's a like, listen, man, if every guy was just if every guy was just doing what it took to find his joy in life, that didn't include women, there would be no toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
But a lot of guys
I agree with you on that. I think yeah, go
a
ahead.
lot of guys, they do things. Most guys, everything they do is to serve a woman, and that's where the toxic masculinity comes from, because
That's more of a simp. That's more of a simp slash
you trying
fake
to
alpha.
control women instead of leading them. Women don't want to be controlled, man. Matter of fact, nobody wants to be controlled, but women specifically don't want to be controlled. They want to be led. That's why a woman that has no problem going to some job every day where she's got a boss, because that boss ain't controlling her, he's leading her. It's a difference. It's a difference. And that's what.
Yo, Rascal, no, a woman is not a child. Okay, no.
That's why a lot of women, that they smashing they boss, because he's leading her. He's not. She can leave whatever she wants to.
Yeah, because he's playing a dominant figure role in her life, man.
Yeah, and that's
why
the rejection's different. Women reject on the front side, men reject on the back side.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true. That's 100% true.
No, Roz girl, mental illness is definitely not just about feelings. There are people who really have mental illness, but I don't think, if you compare now to 50 years ago, women weren't suffering from depression as much as they are now. Women are killing themselves at an alarming rate now. There's
because they're being pushed to be on a unnatural state, man.
And I think it's overdiagnosed.
They're being led to be this super strong leftist feminist, and they want them to deny anything that's feminine about themselves. And that will go ahead.
I gotta head out, man. I gotta go get some groceries.
Hey, man.
Okay. Hey,
yo, salute to you, HB2N, man. Thanks for coming through, man.
I appreciate it, man. Salute to everybody on the panel too, man. I'll let you.
I'm
gonna still be listening though, man.
Word out.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's my guy right there, HB2N. HB2N, yo, he's a good dude. And plus, yo, he got some good content. He's a good content creator, man. He be in the scene for the battle rap scene. I mean, he be giving his opinion on that, and that's simply on point, like a scoreboard, you heard? But Yeah, man. Yo, yeah. So what's up, Gabe, man? Let's keep talking about this, man. Hey, yo, Labudo, man, you still there? He's
I
probably
think
handling some
so.
business. But yeah, man.
Opening
So
another channel somewhere.
but yeah, man, this is definitely a dope subject matter, man. I'm glad we expounded on this, man, and you know, like yo, man, like yo, these behavior patterns that we be seeing, man, should be wild crazy, man. We're being forced to move on a unnatural state, they're pressing boys to, like other boys, and they even promoting them to become transformers. I mean, to become a Decepticon, and those things will lead to people to, be suicidal and being depressed, because you're moving on an unnatural state. Yeah.
Yeah,
What
I
say
mean,
you, Gabe? Talk to me,
you-
man.
we started off with the jealousy thing, and look where we're at now. It's like because it all kind of comes together.
Yeah, it does. It does. Because everything plays a significant role to our mental, I guess, our mental health, and it depends on how you move in life and what you take in, what's your intake of information, your food consumption, and etc.
Because I know like where my limits are to certain degrees. I mean, there's parts I don't push because there's times where I can be like overloaded, but it would have to be
Yeah,
like
yeah, like
be
what?
situational and everything happen in like the same time.
Yeah. I mean, I can see that too. Um, like it's just and you know what? It's how you deal with curveballs in life too. If you're a person that can't really deal with like curve. What I mean by curveballs, like sometimes you would have to not compromise, but damn, what's the word I'm looking for? Like
Um,
sometimes you go ahead.
like kind of got to go with the flow type thing.
Yeah, like roll with the
Play,
punches.
play the cards you're dealt. There you go.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes you got to play the cards you're dealt, man, and that would show your true characteristic. I mean, who you really are. When you're going under pressure. And and sometimes, some people they crack under pressure. You know what I mean? And or some might be able to be a stoic about the situation, and handle it with ease, like ain't shit going on.
Yeah.
And when you're dealing with that kind of pressure, it really shows who you really are in real life. Like I mean, and women they look at that kind of shit too, man. Like if you're the type of dude that can't handle pressure and like you're panicking and you can't make a decisive decision, the woman she gonna look at the dude like, yo, I can't really fuck with this nigga because like, yo, he not really sure about himself.
Funny you say that now.
No, I mean, yo, man, like, yo, women don't. I mean, a real feminine female that lives a righteous lifestyle, she gonna want a dude to be able to handle pressure, man. This is why women they give niggas shit tests because they want to see if this if this dude could handle any situation that comes his way, man.
Yeah, I can understand that. Then
Well,
there's
I mean, I could be wrong, but
there's
that's
just
just
females that are
my
just full of shit to begin with. There's that
yeah,
too.
yeah.
It's like there's
That's
guys
it.
just full of shit.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much, but my I don't know, Gabe, so, it's like, hey, like who,
I'm just trying to like do the best I can. And I think that's all that matters, really. You're
I
doing the
mean,
best you can.
yeah, and not only doing the best that you can, but develop some type of uh happiness. Not only happiness, but also have tranquility, man. You want to be at peace, man.
And sometimes you just gotta have to learn shit. You have to learn shit the hard way. Just have to go through it.
Yeah. I mean that that's what that sometimes people got to go through the fire in order to be refined, you know?
Because I can think of like dudes back in high school. They're probably still to this day, probably still haven't gotten anything. Because they just never put themselves out there. They didn't want to fall on their face. I think they're too afraid of that. I think that's a lot of dudes' problem too.
Yeah, I mean, I think so too, because it's like, you know, okay, when you go through the motions of struggling, you know, like you're supposed to learn from your mistakes, and from your mistakes of that kind of struggle, you're able to deal with it the next time it comes at you with ease, because you recognize the problem and you have a solution for it, you know. But you know, in this day and age, people don't really they're not really into problem solving. Some just murmur a lot, you know.
Yeah, you know, people like to kick you when you're down too. So I think that's part of the fear of the rejection, because you don't want to get that type of shit, you know.
Yeah. And like what HB2N was saying, like, yo, rejection is a good thing, man.
Dude, you got to be evil Knievel, man. You just got to. Sometimes you'll fucking hit the jump. Sometimes you'll
Sometimes you
fucking
don't.
break your back, your arms.
But that shouldn't stop you from trying to pursue whatever goal you're trying to achieve, you know.
Exactly. You gotta go for it.
It's not how you it's not what's the word, what's the saying, it's not how you give the hit, but it's how you take the hit. Like, when you fall, can you get back up? That's what a true strength is, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if you take an L on the situation, would that destroy your spirit for moving on? Would that destroy your steadfast spirit, or will it strengthen it and give you, like, would you be more conditioned to deal with that problem again? You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, that's just my, I guess, philosophy on that. You know?
That's also from Rocky Balboa. He talks about.
Yeah, that too.
How much
you had to blow my spot up like that, Gabe. But yeah, yo, you funny as hell. You blew my whole shit. Kaboom! You just blew my whole shit up, nigga.
I watch movies too.
Yeah, man. You know, shit, man. I'm a movie junkie, man. That's all I did. Like, there was one point in my life. That's all I did was like watch movies, yo. Like, after a long day at work, come home. You know what I mean? Cook up some good food and watch ill movies, nigga. You know what I mean?
That's still one of my favorite things to do. Get stoned, have some good food, and yeah, just watch anything. Just watch something that captures your attention at the time.
Yeah, and I'm true. Yo, listen, man, I am truly happy when I come home from work. I got a cold Corona with some Chinese food, and I'm watching a good movie, man. I mean, that is just like, I get excited just even thinking about it. I know that's probably like weird to some people, but this shit, like, simple shit like that makes me happy, my nigga. Straight up.
Dude, I'm telling you, there's a lot of dudes that are like that. Maybe it's not, coming home to eat and do what you do, but there's something that they want to do after work, or there's something they're always looking forward to.
Right. And I also enjoy riding dirt bikes too, man. I think it's a good way to deal with your stress. It helps you, I mean, it helps release that stress, man. It puts your mind on a different plane, man, when you're riding. I don't know, it just does something to you when you're riding, man. I guess that's why, some dudes, they ride motorcycles just to, to deal with, certain emotional issues. And I can see why they do that, because, the shit is mad therapeutic, man. I don't know why it is, man, but shit is dope. Riding, if you ain't got a motorcycle or a dirt bike, man, get yourself one, man. And if you're feeling down, just go riding, man. Trust me, you'll love it.
Something I just kind of discovered was a good thing for me, because I got a drum set around Christmas time.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize like how much of a stress reliever it was. I thought it was gonna be more frustration to me, because I'm gonna have to learn a whole new instrument. But
you know what? Playing instruments is a different form of an expression. It's like a different outlet, man. So whatever you hold inside internally, you get to release it by, playing those instruments or writing poetry. You know what I mean? Like shit like that. Like little shit like that people overlook. You know what I mean?
It's funny because, as I played junior tennis, that was my thing. That was like my job. So my life was a little bit different. You know, I didn't go to school dances. I missed out on a lot of shit because I was either tournaments or practices, whatever. But I have, you know, every once in a while, I get frustrated, and I just have to fucking smash a racket up. Now, after I smash the racket, I feel bad right away, but there's also that relief.
Man, yeah, no, I know what you mean. I know what you
playing
mean.
drums, I didn't realize, you know, I'm hitting some shit, so it's like
Right,
I'm kind
right.
of getting that out. I didn't
Yeah,
realize.
yeah. Like I said, it's a good outlet to have, you know, playing the instrument, you know, or writing poetry. You know what I mean? Or even like making a song. It helps with the psyche, man. It's therapeutic, man. You know what I mean? You can't go wrong with that. You know, having a creative expression through art is the best way to express yourself. You know,
'Cause
people
it's
should
not,
try it more. You
you know,
know,
I've been practicing a lot just because, you know, that's how I was taught music. Like, you practice, you get good. Like, it was, I don't know, I guess that's instilled in me. I'm not really looking at it as a therapeutic thing, but it is. It's just kind of an added bonus, I say.
no, it is. It is an added bonus, man, because you're doing something that saves your sanity. You know.
Big time. And man, for a lot of years, I just didn't have that opportunity to smash a racket. I just need to smash a racket every once in a while.
Yeah, I mean, yo, man, because you know, because a lot of times when when we're in a setting like in a work environment or I guess a gathering, there's certain things you cannot express in front of people, or people will interpret that expression the wrong way. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So when you find a space where you're able to have this outlet to release certain anger, frustration, depression, like it'll come out organically because you find an ill niche or ill outlet to help you express yourself. You know,
Yeah, definitely.
you know.
But you know, I look at myself now, and then I look at myself as, you know, the tennis player. Dude, it's two different people, man. I was an asshole. I'm a
Yeah.
fucking jerk. Yeah. Oh yeah. I was a dick to a lot of people.
Yo, so did you had a chance to see the WandaVision movie with
Yeah.
Doctor Strange?
Yes.
Everybody's telling me it's real good that I need to go see it.
Dude, it's a mind fuck.
Really?
Yeah, I walked out of the movie theater like rethinking life a little bit and certain shit. Like, it'll make you think about shit like, whoa, this, because I actually believe there are like parallel universes or multiverses where there's like the, you know, different versions of you or different versions of me.
Right. I believe so too. I
Or at least-
believe
well,
this.
not that I
Yeah.
believe it. I want to believe it. I'll put it that way.
I think it's true, but you know, to break down the science with that, that's a whole different. You know what I
That's a
mean?
whole different show.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? I believe it. You know.
But dude, that Doctor Strange, it was a good movie. Like, I liked it better than the first Doctor Strange. I don't know, I just didn't like the first Doctor Strange.
Well, the first film of Doctor Strange is the introduction on who Doctor Strange is. You know what I mean? Yeah, I know the storyline is not as exciting as other Marvel characters, but I mean I really like it because it feels realistic. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
how he got into the accident, he was an ill surgeon or ill doctor, but because he damaged his hands, he was unable to perform surgery, which led him to go to the you know, Tibetan mountains and shit and try to seek this guru that understand the art of healing shit. I mean, yo, I'm into weird shit like that anyway, nigga. I mean, that's why I like the, you know what I mean?
Actually, that's a perfect example. You know, when Doctor Strange was just a doctor and you thought he was a shit? That
Yeah.
was me as a tennis player. That type of attitude.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay. I get what you're saying. Yeah, I mean that's because I mean it wasn't, it doesn't, it's not that you wasn't, you know, uh not a good person. It's just that you still haven't reached your full potential of who you are destined to become. I mean,
Yeah, exactly. There's certain things you just kind of have to, you
because
lighten up on.
the whole time, Doctor Strange thought that he was just meant to be a doctor, and that's the only way he's able to help people. But as you get further deep into his storyline, even with the animated movie of this, like he okay he had to dig deep to find what was his true destiny, and his true destiny was to become the supreme master sorcerer. He would have never believed it if they informed him this information prematurely as he was a surgeon. He would have been like, nigga, are you smoking crack? Fuck out of here. Take a hike.
Yeah,
because at that moment he wasn't ready for that kind of information.
Well, not only that, he never thought he'd do anything past that. Like, he was just supposed to be, the top surgeon.
Right, and people that reach those kind of accomplishment, that shit becomes their identity. Like, every time when they converse with an individual, the first thing they're going to talk about to that individual is, how's it like being a doctor, or how's the job treating, shit like that. Like, you'll be constantly reminded that you're this doctor that made this kind of accomplishment. Yeah, I mean, so when Doctor Strange damaged his hands and he couldn't perform surgery anymore, he at that moment, he kind of lost his identity, which led him. Yeah, go ahead.
He did. He totally did. Because look, remember Junior Seau? We know him as the Pro, and when we know how it ended.
Yeah,
I understand that, actually, because you're so used to like a certain type of you're used to being something like that, like that was you. And then when you don't have that anymore, it's weird adjusting to like, what's the word I want to use? Like civilian life, regular life. There's a lot of shit I had to learn late that I never like dealt with, teenagers, because I was busy, being the tennis guy.
Right, because you was always constantly being praised on being that tennis guy, right?
Yeah, somewhat.
Yeah, so that was kind of like the form of your identity. Like,
well, I guess you know what I miss is just knowing that I always felt like I was in control. Like win or lose, I'm doing it my way.
Right.
Now it's like, now there's other factors, because tennis was just me. Now you have to deal with other people in life. Shit like that. And it's just when you're so used to just doing the same shit every day, or having like a schedule or shit like that, it's weird when it's gone.
Yeah.
And there's still a part of me that's still kind of trying to figure out what I am past that.
Trust me, man. I know your feelings, man. I can empathize with you, man. You know what I mean?
It's like, I'm not fully Doctor Strange yet, but I'm like in the school.
Word. You still going through the fire. Yeah. You still going through the fire to get refined, man, so you can be that perfect gold. Know what I mean?
Yeah, I have to learn what's the second part of my life. Because I never thought I'd do anything else. Not that I'd be like a professional, but per se, but I just maybe coaching or teaching. But no, I just kind of stopped, and that was it.
What do you do for a living now?
Nothing. How do I say this? There was some luck. There's just people I've known for a long time, and they kind of took me along for the ride, and I got enough money to where I can live comfortably. But I don't have rest of my life money.
Well, you'll be getting that soon.
I don't have like insurance or anything like that. I have to pay for that shit myself.
Yeah.
You know what that shit is? It's a lot.
Yo, that shit is a lot, man. It's like what 200,
More for me.
200 a month.
Practically a car note for me.
How much you pay a month for insurance?
Oh, for something. I'd have to look, but
Well, you probably got good shit though. That's that premium shit.
yeah,
That's
I
that
do. Well, I do it because
you
of the
walk
bipolar
out
thing.
paying $2 for a copay type insurance, nigga. You got that good shit.
Yeah, so I want to make sure I have my meds at a certain price, and I just, in case some shit happens, that I can just, go.
You still get your meds, yeah.
Yeah. I've also set up precautions for me. Like, I have it so I can't because when you're bipolar, sometimes you go on like these fucking impulsive spending sprees. I've done that once. So I've, put in some checks and balances for myself. So it's like I only have this much money coming in there for a week, and that's all I have. Deal with it that way. Like I live pretty frugally, but
yeah, I live a frugal lifestyle too. I don't like to spend money. I'd rather have it than spend money. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then I don't know how to explain it. It's just right now I can just kind of figure stuff out.
Right. Well, I mean, yo, man, you gotta trust the process, man. Things will pan out. Eventually. Not that you're not in a winning position now, but whatever goal you're trying to reach.
But I'm not in a losing position either.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of like, nah, I'm just not really playing because there's not really a game out there. There's nothing that I've kind of found is like, okay, I want to do this and like really do this. Like I've dabbled in other things. So I'm like, okay, I'll do this. Nah, not my thing. Or there's just something about it I don't like. But I tried it. I think I'm still in the trying phase.
Yo, it's good to try new things, man. You know what I'm saying? That's why I encourage others to learn about, new things, man.
Yeah, like I'm getting back into music. It's like, oh my God, I forgot how I was a pretty decent player. Yeah, because I had a good teacher. He was a pretty mean, but it's like a football coach type guy.
Okay, okay.
He shits on you all the time, but when you do well,
you remember him. Some
yeah.
people can't remember their, kindergarten teacher, right?
Dude, like when I'm practicing drums and shit, like I can just picture him picking on me for something, or I'm afraid almost. It's like instilled in me. Like I have to do it this way, or else I'm just doing it wrong.
Right, right. Well, I mean, shit. Everybody, everybody gets nervous sometimes. That's a completely normal thing.
It's a good thing though.
Yeah,
because I'm doing the right thing.
That's how you survive. You rely on those kind of instincts.
Yeah, but like I know where I'm at, and I'm fine with it. It's just a different path. I have a little, some circumstances are different or backwards.
Yeah, I can see that. But Gabe, man, I think I'm gonna cut this live short.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
That was we have to end on this. We can go on.
Yo, we've been up for almost 4 hours now, man.
But yeah, we just cut the shit off.
Thanks for coming through, man. Yo, I'm gonna be up here tomorrow morning too. I'm gonna do another live tomorrow morning. So come through again, and we'll finish this discussion tomorrow, brother. You take care.
All right, people. Peace.
Peace.
Well, Rush, thanks, man. No. All right, guys, have a good one.